Welcome to another episode of Enter the Nerdom. I'm here with co-hosts
Stan Morancini.
What's up, party people? It's Watson Bradshaw.
Watson's voice is a little off today.
My voice is really fucked up.
He went to a concert last night, a Spice Girls concert last night, and threw his voice out.
You know what? You got when the Spice Girls call, you got to go, and you got to go hard.
Exactly.
And I'm obviously Tommy Lee Jones, here to talk to you about all the soups we love and like. And Stan, what's your favorite soup?
My favorite soup?
Yeah, your favorite soup.
Broccoli cheddar.
Broccoli cheddar. Watson, soup?
You know I got to go minestrone, and if you know, you know.
Mine's a butternut squash. Gotta love it. Seasonal.
I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care.
Damn. It's like he's in the room.
Where's the galaxy? Okay.
So we had DJ McHale on last week.
Yeah.
So
What?
we kind of skipped a week, so now we're going to catch up on a lot of stuff that we've kind of...
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had just the core three.
A lot of stuff has come out in the last 2 weeks, so we wanted to talk about it. Probably some movies that have been out for a while, but we watched and haven't spoken about.
Right.
True. And then some that have just come out, so spoiler warning for most and all of it.
Pretty much, yes. So I guess we should start off with one of the older ones that has been out for a while, but I think we all saw, right? Boy Kills World.
Yes.
All right. What did you guys think?
Loved it.
Yeah, it was
a little fun ultra violence.
Yeah.
You know, what's not to love?
Give us a synopsis. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I really loved it. The only thing that didn't work the whole time was H. John Benjamin's voice.
Really?
Don't get me wrong. I love H. John Benjamin and his VO work. It just for the violence and his like for the comedy moments worked perfectly, but for like the serious like poignant moments Bill Skarsgård was having, it just didn't really hit for me. But
I just love the conceit that that's what he thinks his voice would be.
And that is great. But like they could have had also Liam Neeson there, and he can play comedy too for those moments as well. So like it's just funny that they landed on H. John Benjamin, and I heard that was added after the fact. It wasn't even.
Oh, was it supposed to be Billy Skarsgård?
No, it was supposed to be silent, like no VO, and then people weren't into it.
That would have been a very different movie.
Yeah,
very different movie.
And then they were like, "Okay, let's do this," and they added.
It'd been like Silent Night.
I was just about to say, I was like, they just had that movie.
Yeah,
I was with Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah. So
and maybe they saw that and it did because that movie didn't perform as well.
No,
as they thought it was.
But it was a limited release for that as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But I would say though they ran test screenings and it didn't do well without the VO. And it did better with it. So.
It does. It heightens the comedy.
It does
for sure.
It does. Yeah.
So the breakdown of the movie is that I'm not really sure what country or world this thing takes place in. It's definitely a sci-fi-ish type of...
Yeah, it's a made-up
not too distant future.
Yeah, it seemed like it was kind of like Brazil-ish, or like a South American country.
Like Hunger Game.
Yeah, it was like Hunger Game-esque.
Yeah.
So the premise of the movie is that there's a country that's being run by this dictatorial family that kind of...
Let's just call it Belize.
Yeah, Belize like. Yeah, I think it was probably shot in like Brazil or Belize.
Yeah.
Something like that. And they pretty much suppress the population. They do Hunger Games type.
Right.
It's sort of like a Running Man-esque type of event.
That's a good analogy, Running Man.
Because like they're not supposed to win. They're just hunted down by the...
performers, whatever they are.
Danny Radcliffe did a movie a while back called Guns Akimbo.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Very much kind of the same premise.
Yeah,
and so it's just Skarsgård plays a kid who kind of grew up on the street. It's the story. We believe that this ruling family killed his mother and father, and so he runs out to the woods. He escapes, and he's trained by a martial artist to tolerate pain and to be able to fight, and he's supposed to take his revenge on this family, and that's what he comes back to do. And lo and behold, it's pretty simple. It's a revenge story.
Yeah.
But in the end, there was a pretty good twist that he's actually the son of the family, the dictator, the female dictator.
What's her name?
Femke Jansen.
Jensen. So I mean, it was fun. There's some great action scenes. In
Oh
it.
yeah.
I love like Bill Skarsgård was like, I'm gonna get buff for like 2024.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in all these action movies shirtless. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do The Crow, and then
I mean,
I'm out.
I could see him doing it because like they keep pushing me towards these horror movies. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I probably because he's just already did it, and it's like everyone just sees him as.
Yeah, he's
in a
got to
horror
change it
movie.
up a little.
So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna go this route. So
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he finds a niche that.
I really liked him in John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he was great in that.
I think he got to play around a lot with that. And in this too, I think he gets to. I mean, I think he has fun doing these kind of weird offshoot movies. So.
Yeah.
And he's got the face for this type of movie since he's not speaking.
Yeah,
he can really express his eyes,
yeah.
and so I was like, that
very
that really,
expressive.
he was a good choice on that.
Yeah,
I like how they. So in the movie, he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
But he you hear his thoughts.
Yeah.
Which is voiced by
H. John Benjamin.
Yeah. And we were talking about that prior to us hitting record, Chad. What do you think about that?
Oh, the of H. John,
yeah.
Well, no, yeah. As I mentioned earlier before, I thought it was kind of off kilter with the performance because like there were really nice, poignant moments with the sister he was seeing in his head.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was just, like, that nasally H. John Benjamin voice, like, hey, it's, And I love it, like, Bob's Burgers, all that stuff, Archer. And it was just, like, it didn't meet, it just missed the mark for me with that.
It felt off for you?
It felt off.
Was it the disconnect between, like, the physical, what you were seeing on screen versus the emotion that was being played?
That and because like I'll say, okay, I've heard his voice throughout my life with home movies and like
Archer,
Family
and
Guy.
So that's all that pops in my head when I hear it. So
it's hard not to think of Archer,
and it's a recognizable voice.
Yeah,
like, that's
right.
like that's one person. You only so it just did like if it was a less known voice, I could see it working a bit more for certain areas, but. All in all, though, the movie was great. The action, the choreography, and they had. I would assume he did some of the choreography. The martial artist that trained Bill Skarsgård in the movie. Mm-hmm. He's a Mad Dog from The Raid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Also, John Wick 2.
Yeah,
and or was it 3? I forget.
They all blurred together.
No, it was 3. It was 3. He was in 3, but yeah, so he's. I'm glad that guy's just
getting work,
doing more American work. But I was worried about the action sequences that we would get lots of cuts, and there were cuts, but it still worked. Like the shots were wide enough where you did see the follow through in action.
I'm loving this new wave of action we're getting, starting with like between this and the Wicks and even Monkey Man. We watched this kind of visceral, high-paced, very physical action we're seeing. And,
it's definitely very reminiscent of like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I think wherever this is going, I think the thing is we don't want to seem too same. You know what I mean? Like we're starting to see a lot of the same kind of choreography moves being used and utilized. It's like, okay, they're in the kitchen, they're gonna use some things in the kitchen. Okay, they're doing this a hallway scene kind of thing, and I love it, but I don't want to get bored of it. So I do want to see it kind of evolve a little more.
Kind
of like wire work was in the 90s. Everyone was doing wire work. And
the thing with that is that for a while, I don't know what year it was, like when UFC started getting popular, jiu-jitsu started becoming more involved in martial art films. Ground fighting.
The like Bourne kind of thing with the shaky cam and love, like grappling and
like the Nolan's Batman and Jason Bourne had the same fight style, which got a lot of criticism because it was just so close up and you couldn't see what was going on. And now I'm glad we're pulling back and we're showing it.
And we're seeing longer takes. We're seeing multiple choreography moves like that.
And it's not where, I'm putting my hand up here because you know to strike here. It's not easy to call what the move is.
It's not like three guys sitting in the background waiting to fight.
They're actually all attacking at once and stuff. So
is it my turn yet?
Yeah. But, no, I recommend the movie. I I was in my head. I usually like leaving a movie. I'll be like, do I want to pick it up?
Yeah.
Is that something I'd like to own?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, not yet. But I was like, that was fun enough where I would because
Mistake.
Excuse me, that was a big old fart from me. that plate drop. No, but I think I would add it to the collection. Of
films. It's pretty good.
You can buy it digitally right now for $24.99.
But we all know when you buy it digitally, you don't actually own it.
No.
Yeah, I can't stand it. Yeah.
So,
I think it's. I really enjoyed it. My only complaint, I guess, was like some of the damage he took was like way too much, especially at the end. I was like, okay, this is. This is crazy.
He'd be done.
Yeah. Like at one point he gets pile drived into the ground, and you see his neck like snap, and I'm like, I think that would probably kill him.
I mean, I think that
he's got the will.
Yeah,
he's got the will, and he's been fed enough drugs by the martial artist.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
and his pain threshold is probably hot.
But who I knew was going to be a sister.
Yeah, that was
played by Jessica Roth.
Yeah,
June 27 is her name but I knew it was going to be a sister. Like when they introduced the female enforcer, I was like, that's got to be a sister,
right?
Well,
because we never saw what happened to her.
I thought that, and I was like, oh, they brainwashed her to be their enforcer or something before you knew that
right.
They were related.
Dockery, excuse me, Melanie.
Yeah, and I felt that before I knew that she was going to be family, because we kept seeing the in his head his version of his sister. Right. So I was like, maybe she is dead. I don't know, but because it kind of went black for him at that time, where the fake memory was telling him that he was shot, or all of them were shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went back and forth throughout the movie. I was like, is it? Could be. And it's like, well, she's got on her mask that she wears, she has like the words pop up like, what are those called?
Like the digital LED signs.
Yeah. So I was like,
but then she also has like emojis in there.
Yeah.
It was well done. I like that.
Well, I mean, and that works so she doesn't have to speak to him.
Yeah.
He can read it. So I was like, okay, that makes more sense that they'd be close. So, or if at all, she might.
It's a mirror of each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
one doesn't speak, one can't speak.
Yeah. I think I didn't get the whole like the shaman, because we see his family is actually executed, and that's what compels the young boy to run away.
Yeah.
Which is
played by Homelander's son.
Yeah, John Benjamin.
Yeah,
it's John Benjamin.
No, the.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. What's the kid's name? Yeah.
That's why I just said
from the show.
Yeah, from The Boys.
From he was Homelander's.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like he's an important part of this family. Like he's the son of the dictator, and he just like runs off, and like nobody stops him. I'm like, okay, but then like I was like, okay, maybe like the guard's a little afraid to like kind of tackle him, but then the shaman who they just shot his family, he just runs off too, and she's like, get him. And like you see the guards run after him, and I'm like, okay, well, I wish it had been a little more. What I was hoping we would see is some type of resistance towards his family. So as they shoot the shaman's family, and they're okay. When we saw, they just gunned down his family, and like the dictator's like, I wanted you to see that before I kill you, your family being gunned down. Now shoot him, and right before they shoot him, there's an explosion, an attack by the resistance. The kid gets separated in it. The shaman's able to get away. That kind of thing.
You want more nuance.
A little more nuance.
Crazy action movie.
It's just like, oh, here's the guy who's obviously a threat, and the kid who's very important are just going to run away and disappear.
Well,
in the middle of the city.
Nothing bad could happen from that.
Well, I think when the son ran away, that was a big enough distraction in my head. That was a big enough distraction for the shaman guy to run away or get out of there somehow.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't need too much of that, because like the story is so out there anyway that I was like, okay,
we got time to kill. We got to jump forward.
I suppose but yeah, I mean, that was not only like issue with the movie, I suppose. Is those two kind of very easy like plot contrivances, and then the damage they were taking at the end. I was just like, wow, this is a lot. But I mean, it's an action movie. It's supposed to be fun. I'm like, whatever.
I mean,
I should turn off my brain and have a good time
if you think of the Raid 2, the fight in the kitchen, the blows they were taking, I'm like, come on,
exactly.
So in any action movie, I will give a benefit of a doubt of like damage, like.
I would love to see an action movie with like real world damage. Like one guy walks in, gets like punched right in the guy, and he just like crumples, just like
like a fight.
Oh no!
Well, there's a really good realistic fight scene in. Have you ever seen Snowpiercer?
Yes.
So at the end when they're in that steam room, and like one hit and the guys are like, people are getting like fucking knocked on their asses, and I was like, I love that scene because it's fairly realistic. There's a point where there's like an enforcer. Who's fighting Chris Evans' character, and he's able to he kicks him in the he kicks Chris Evans in the face, and Chris Evans is out. And I was like, wow, holy shit, there you go, an actual kind of realistic type, but which is still really enjoyable, that fight scene.
Yeah, that movie is so good at like it's right on the line where it's like you have these incredibly out there scenarios, like like you see the hatchets in that one, but it's like but done very realistically, even though it's like very cinematic. And there's even some silliness in that because in the middle of the fight they're like, oh, it's New Year's, and one of the hatchetmen that's like bleeding out, I was like, yay! It's a surreal world.
So Boy Kills World, I enjoyed it. It is what it is. It's still very, like you said, I'm glad that there's action movies that are coming back.
Because
we've lost them within the last, I would say maybe the last 7-8 years. We've kind of lost them.
Yeah, they were kind of not in vogue anymore.
But they're so simple and they're timeless, dude, because it doesn't matter what year it is, you can enjoy them.
Well, and I think, gotta give all the props to John Wick for kind of like
bringing it back,
opening that door,
absolutely,
starting that genre back up again.
Absolutely,
true.
Yeah,
and like I think the gimmicks that were in John Wick and like the popularity with the Raid series, like that was a draw for it because we haven't seen, or I think the previous action movies were lackluster in the sense that
we were talking like American action movies.
Well, I mean even
big budget ones,
right?
Versus like the Raid, I think is phenomenal. But I don't think the general public know what that movie.
No,
is.
that is true. I will agree.
Not a lot of people want to. I mean, when it came out, I will say this: like, not a lot of people like dubbed movies or subbed. No. I think now we're seeing the shift. Especially with like Godzilla 0, -1. That movie made millions of dollars. Where it wouldn't have done that.
But I'll say we still did get action movies here that were good. It's just they didn't get the attention that they should have. Like Dread was very good, and it did.
Well, that's not Dread. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the last since 2017. We've seen
Dread wasn't
Dread was 2008, I think.
It was a while back.
Well, I mean, I would say there was a lot of not great ones in that time too. So
of course. But I mean, we're seeing more action movies in general since the last. Again, I would argue since about 2017, 2018, where there was kind of a cultural shift.
Well, because Marvel's
Marvel was
superhero
one of the major issues with it. It's because those are the only kind of action movies we were getting. Right. Superhero movies, which look so clean and just kind of.
That's the thing. Because they're built to appeal to everyone.
Exactly.
So it's like it's just enough violence, but we can't have too much violence.
It's you don't see the heroes get hit every now and again, but they're not struggling like
they've got to destroy waves of CGI aliens or robots or something that we don't connect to.
If it's another person, and the only kind of like real gritty fight scenes we saw in superhero movies was Daredevil, and Punisher. But that was Netflix. So
they'll be back. I was just about to say,
unfortunately.
I mean, I was just about to add that to what you just said.
Don't yuck on my yum, dude.
To what you just said, Stam, where a lot of the action movies that we do love kind of just went to TV. That's where like I remember a bunch of shows. I was like, this is great. I'm eating it up.
Arrow had some really good stunt sequences,
Yeah.
like for those first 5-6 seasons.
Yeah, there was I'm blanking on the name, but it was the guy. I'm blanking on Homelander, the actor's name, but he had a show on.
Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr. He had a show on, I think it was, I want to say it was Cinemax or like Stars or something that went under the radar, and it was
he's
like
Marshall or something like that.
Yeah, he not technically, he's pretending to be in this town that he goes into, and he's just like really badass and fighting all these criminals and stuff. It's very good.
Surprised that he doesn't do more of. I mean, I guess Homelander doesn't really need to do that. He's so overpowered.
Yeah,
he's so exactly.
Unless he has someone like Soldier Boy to fight,
right?
There's no reason.
Those scenes were great.
Yeah.
You're not talking about American Gothic, are you?
No.
I don't know.
Maybe it's older on his.
Oh, Banshee.
That's what it's called. Banshee. Yes,
that's right. I remember that's where he's from. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very good show.
Yeah.
Underrated.
So yeah, I mean, I Boy Kills World. You haven't checked it out yet? I think it's still in theaters. Check it out.
Some
might be.
Maybe like Regal or something.
Right.
Like that.
Something like that.
I know AMC's not really playing it.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. And some of you guys watched Fall Guy. I haven't watched it yet.
I got to see Fall Guy.
I did not get to see it.
You saw it?
Yes. I do recommend, if you have it, because it is still in theaters.
Yeah.
And I will say,
I still plan to see it.
Yeah,
I say bring your partners, your intimate partners, because it's a great date movie.
Okay.
It's
bring your intimate partners to see Fall Guy.
Fall Guy. So obviously, you guys know the show more than I do. I never saw the show.
I watched a couple episodes. Yeah.
The show.
Yeah.
Fucking Lee Majors, baby.
Major, yeah.
Did you watch it though?
I did.
You did?
It's weird. It was one of those things that was like, I remember it distinctly because it was on Saturdays right after the cartoons, like right after Batman animated series. This is in England, so
yeah.
Like I remember watching those stuff, and then it'll get to like these like 80s reruns. So it would show like A-Team, Knight Rider, Fall Guy. It was like this power
block
hour
of
a block of just 80s action shows.
Nighthawk or something. But no, the movie is really good. Ryan Gosling, if you like a lot of his slapstick comedy, he's very funny.
I think he's a great physical comedian. I love the Nice Guys is one of my favorite movies. Him and Russell Crowe,
underrated as
needs a fucking sequel.
It does. Yeah.
Best thing Shane Black's put out in a long time.
Yep. Yes, I agree.
But yeah, so I think he's great at that stuff.
And with that, he has great chemistry with Emily Blunt's character. Yeah. I mean, like, it was very believable. They start off, they're working on a movie together, and Ryan Gosling is Aaron Taylor Johnson. I always forget how to say
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Kick ass,
Yeah.
I just call him Kick Ass.
I call him Future Craven.
Don't do that.
He can't wait for that. He can't wait for that.
Let's push back. Let's push back for a
because
reason.
It's so good. They know they can't release it this year.
Well, no, they're just like, well, maybe we should wait till he becomes James Bond to release it.
They have to do it after an election year because it could influence the election. That's how good it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That Russell Crowe performance in there too, of him being crazy Russian.
Yeah. No, I love. That's the only reason why I'll see that movie.
Yeah, me too. Russell Crowe.
But yeah. So they start off on a movie, and Aaron's character is pretty much a douchebag actor type. He's like, you know what? We see too much of Ryan Gosling's face in this shot, so let's have him do the stunt again. And and so like he gets hurt on the stunt, and he kind of like gets out of commission, and we see like a time jump, and he's been retired, and he's a valet for cars outside of a restaurant or something. And he gets a call from Aaron's manager saying, "Hey, we kind of want you back. You're the best stunt guy and the best close to matching Aaron Tyler's body type and stuff like that. And we want you to come down and do in this movie." And there's like even Emily Blunt's asking for her character. And because she's actually directing the movie now, so she moved up in the world, and they broke up, obviously, through the time that he was injured and out of commission. So He goes there in the hope of probably reigniting their relationship, and he finds out quickly that she didn't want him there. She doesn't want him there. So there's a comedy going on with that, and then also there's an ulterior motive by Aaron's manager saying, "Hey, we actually can't find him, so if you could go check out his hotel room and look for him, and then bring him back and stuff like that." So, but he finds a dead body in the tub, and as he's trying to back out of there, he gets caught on camera, and he's being framed for the murder of the person that was in there, which is the stunt double that was there before him.
Right.
And it turned out to be a whole ploy to frame him because Aaron's the one who accidentally killed that guy, and they're just trying to blame the murder on him.
Oh, okay.
And so it all like comes to fruition like through all these action scenes and stunts, and a lot of it, I think all of it's practical, pretty much.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, and because even at the end of the credits, they show some of the practical stunts and scenes they did, which was pretty awesome to see. And Ryan did a few of them too. Like I was shocked. I was like, oh, good for you, Ryan. Good for you. You should be in a Keanu movie. You guys get together with Keanu.
I didn't know.
Speed 3. Ryan Gosling is the villain in Speed 3. He plays Dennis Hopper's son. And he's like, "You killed my dad." He's like, "A gold watch." You know, he just plays it. But I think that would be Adam Driver, who would be a good Dennis Hopper type.
Yeah.
But anyway, Fall Guy, I recommend it, loved it. And this is kind of a spoiler. Obviously, we don't care here. But at the end, when they get caught, they're surrounded by these police, and the police is Lee Majors and his crew from the old show. And you even hear Aaron goes, "These guys aren't real cops." And like I guess I don't know what the outfits looked like back then, but like it looked like those were costumes of maybe the old show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But because he had like this head mic thing on Lee Majors' head that's on, so I wasn't sure if that was part of the thing. But no, it's really cool. There's a funny moment or funny bit with Ryan Gosling. He was part of the Miami Vice stunt show team for like a amusement show park. Nice. And he's got this bomber jacket. And I was like, oh man, I would love to have that jacket. It's pretty sick.
Are they trying to say that he's like 80 years old because that show was 40 years ago?
I know that. Yeah. Well, I think because it's a stunt show. It's not the actual show. So
right.
It was a stunt team.
Well, I just remember the stunt show from Universal.
Yeah.
Like
was that in the 80s?
That was 1980. Yeah. It was
something like that, and ran until the 90s.
Maybe he was.
Well, it was Miami Vice. Then it became the A-Team stunt show, and then it became Waterworld.
Oh, that's right. There was an 18.
So I wonder, if that was
maybe I flipped those two. I don't know.
Maybe he received it through someone else. I don't know, because like he does have it, and that's his. That's one of his attire that he wears throughout the movie.
Yeah, it's
because he brags about this boat jump he could do with his hands handcuffed and driving it backwards and doing a jump, which he does in the movie. And I was like, oh yeah, it's great.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to watch it. It's unfortunately not doing as well as I thought it would. I mean, the budget was $150 million, and it's only made like $130 in the box office.
And they promoted the hell out of it. Take that budget, probably double it for marketing.
I mean, they did two stunt guys like falling through like one of the marquees at one of the premieres, which is great. I mean, I was really hoping that it did well, and I'm part of the problem because I haven't gone seen it yet. But not that I don't want to.
Man, Stan, I'm gonna beat you up.
I know. I'm sorry. And we can do a stunt. We can do a stunt through the windows here. Yeah. But yeah, I was hoping it would do well because everybody was kind of saying it's like that. It's like it's a movie like we were just talking about how we haven't gotten action movies like we used to for the last like 7-8 years. It's one of those old callback movies from like the early 2000s, the 2010s, where it's just like it's a fun movie. It's not trying to push any, certain message or whatever. It's just a fun movie that you can go enjoy. That's it. So people were like saying that, oh, it's cool to see that kind of movie back where it's just like, hey, it's just a fun date movie. Yeah. With like, Ryan Gosling just being a dude And
he's riding high off Barbie. Like everyone loves him.
Exactly.
Like,
well, apparently not, because they didn't go to the goddamn movie.
Like, I think it was Universal put it out. We're like really kind of thinking it was gonna be a slam dunk.
Yeah.
I think people probably.
I can see why they thought that. I mean,
I could see probably people thinking he was like, oh no, he's just gonna be Ken again in this movie or something. Probably. Yeah. Which I was like, have you seen the trailer really?
Yeah.
Because like that's not the case. But I would also say, I mean, there is sort of a lesson if people are looking for something deeper in the sense of like Ryan, he's being honest with Emily Blunt, how he feels of like, I'm sorry I wasn't communicating with you, and I didn't tell you how I really felt when I was injured and what I was going through, and I hurt you and blah blah blah. So there I think for all those people who love a rom-com, that is in the movie. Like,
well, I think that's probably what happened too was with the marketing. They definitely pushed the romantic element in all the marketing. Like all the trailers had a lot of that. Yeah. Instead of being like, you should see this on the big screen because of the stunts.
True.
So I feel like a lot of people it's probably going to do really well at home. Yeah. Like I think it's going to be a lot of people like on date night watching it at home kind of thing.
No, yeah, I could see that being
because they didn't really push this, like, like whenever Mission Impossible comes out, they're like, you got to see
that's
fucking
true.
Tom Cruise almost die doing this. You should watch it on the big screen,
Well, I think it was like maybe how HBO used to do like a featurette before they premiered a movie.
I missed those.
They I think it probably could have used that. Yeah. Like how Mission Impossible.
Well, like you said, like I've heard a lot of people going like, "Oh, the CGI, the stunts all look CGI," because I think there is a little bit of like post fix up.
I mean,
stuff.
There might be here and there, but I mean, from at the end credits when they're showing you, I was like, all right, it's not that much different.
But
from
like like you said, like a production beforehand movie or like something saying like, no, look at the stunts. This is all real people doing real things. Yeah. I think that would get more people to see it.
Well, and I really wanted that. This is why I wanted one of the movies to be a success, because I want people to want practical effects again.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I want them to want that.
Also, like, if you're a person who works in the industry, a lot of jokes for you there. Like,
oh, yeah.
There's, because it's so meta with the movie itself. There's even like a phone conversation.
You fucking hear this, Hollywood? You're the problem. You didn't go see this movie.
There's a conversation between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling over the phone, and like she's talking about the script of the movie she's directing, and she's like, I'm thinking about a split. And like it splits the screen in half, and they're doing like a split phone call.
Oh, that's cool.
Funny.
And they're talking about it. It's like, no, we want this shot. Like they're talking about the shots that are happening. And I was like, this is great.
That's great.
So it's just like, there was so much there to chew on and like just enjoy. So it's disappointing it's not doing well.
Yeah.
And I really want, because I really like Ryan Gosling, and I really want him to do well. But like,
yeah, me too.
And I hope it's not just the Barbie high, and I hope people come back to him. But I think I don't know if that kind of soured him, and then people are just not going to his movies after the fact, because like, or I mean, well, because
it all depends on what his next project is. If he was like, maybe he might pivot back to like being I am a serious actor stuff again, like because I like him in this kind of mode, in this kind of goofy.
Like,
I think he's a goofy
mode.
guy.
No, he is.
But he's very handsome is the problem. He's like, he can be as goofy as Will Ferrell, but he's handsome, so they don't put him in those roles.
Right,
you know?
Right.
Let me ask you this, because it's been brought up where Ryan Gosling has been talking. Ryan Gosling has been talking about his favorite action movies and stuff, and he said First Blood was one of his. And Stallone was being interviewed as well, and someone, I think the same host, told him about it, like, oh, Ryan Gosling's a big fan of First Blood. He's like a huge fan. And Stallone's like, yeah, I could see him being, if they did a reboot of Rambo, like I could see him being would you guys can you guys probably see that maybe? Or if like I don't know if they would keep it Vietnam. It would have to be modern,
Afghanistan.
Something like that. Or
I mean, the only problem with that is that it's
very different war.
I think the biggest problem with First Blood in general, and I didn't realize this until I was much older, was that I don't know how that movie would have gotten to the point where it did in real life, because like the only people who were supporting Vietnam veterans coming back at the time were like super conservative cops like that.
Yeah.
So he probably been like, "Oh, you served? Oh, all right. Oh, well, welcome to the town, man. Let me get you a hot meal and a place to stay because we're not fucking hippies here or some shit." And that would have been the end of the movie. Instead, this guy's like immediately hostile him from the beginning, and even he says like, "I'm a veteran, dude." And he's like, "Well, I don't give a fuck. Just get out of my town." It's like,
He had the long hair. He had the hippie.
Yeah,
hair.
exactly. I don't know how that would have.
Well, I think, since it's such a small town, the news could have gotten to him like he fits a description of a vagrant walking around.
Yeah, sure, no, for sure. But his appearance is what originally alerted that sheriff.
Yeah.
To him, like who? It's like he
I
literally does
the motivation. He saw a stranger in town.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he literally flips a bitch, a U-turn, and comes back. He's like, "What are you doing here?
Let me take you to the edge of town."
Exactly.
This whole thing.
Exactly.
And then he disobeys and comes back.
Comes back, and that's when he was like, "All right, dude, I'm trying to." I don't want you in my town. I'm trying to be, and then he finds a knife on him.
Yeah, exactly. And he takes him in, and it escalates.
And then they find out.
Yeah.
But
what I'm trying to say is that I don't see his. I get the motivation for stopping him,
right?
Because he's like, "Who the hell is this guy? This long-haired hippie, whatever." But that thought process of that time, But as soon as he's
says like, "This town's full of good people."
Yeah, exactly. But as soon as he says like, "I'm a veteran, bro," I was in Vietnam. Oh, that most likely that cop would have been like, "Oh, my bad, man. I didn't realize. Let me,
But also, I think because his other reason was like, you being here would upset other people, not him. But other people in his town. So maybe he's also thinking...
From what I remember, too... I mean, I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
I watched it a couple months ago.
But he says something like, I served in Korea, right? Like,
something like that. Yeah, and so that's the other thing that
there is a different... Vietnam was a very different war. And I think even was like, people spit on me, people call me baby killer. Because, that was kind of what people thought of the military during that
Right, exactly.
thing.
Exactly. So. But what... So
I get what you're saying.
So that whole thing, but that whole speech about people spitting on him, where he was saying hippies, people who were against the war, were doing that. Who not to get political, but were at the time tended to be more leftist. Whereas this cop is very conservative.
Right.
Who would have been like, "Oh, you're a veteran? Oh, my bad. Hey, man, I didn't know. Let me get you a meal and a place to stay." And that would have been the end of the movie. Instead, he's like, "I don't give a fuck if you're a veteran. Get out of my town."
I think his whole thing is just, I'm protecting my town.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Exactly,
I don't know you.
Also, it's a bit of a power trip, too. He's
it's
sheriff
absolutely
dismounted.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because even...
I'm not letting this guy think he's better than me.
Yeah.
Because even the colonel was like, when the colonel comes in, he's like, just let him go.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, what are you doing? You're going to get all your people killed here.
Well, there's a great line in there's like, if you're going to go up that mountain, you need one thing. He's like, "Oh, yeah, what's that? A plentiful supply of body bags."
Yeah.
It's a great line. Great line, yeah. Anyhow, I don't know how we got into round, but could I see Ryan Gosling doing that? Yeah, I mean, I could, but I think Watson brought up a good point. He's very handsome, so that kind of tends to throw things off sometimes. I think because if you got guys like Skarsgård, right, who we're talking about with Boy Kills World, he's not ugly, but he's a kind of a weird looking guy.
Yeah, he's got that. Well, or even Adam Driver, I think.
Adam Driver's a perfect. He would be a perfect.
He's
Rambo.
Got that.
Yeah,
he can give. I mean,
even Sylvester Stallone.
Well, he's also an military.
Yeah, well, he's a Marine. Yeah,
actually, I would back a
you
Driver Rambo right now.
Well, because Sylvester Stallone is kind of a strange looking guy as well. He does.
Yeah,
I would say
he's not classically handsome.
Younger Stallone after Rocky he didn't look bad. He looked. Because he wasn't all yoked out yet.
Right? Yeah.
Still.
Well, no, that's what I mean.
He had his young look.
Stallone would you fuck? Our poll will be online.
But the thing is, in First Blood, there's no shirts being taken off or whatever. So you just put some scruff on Ryan Gosling's face and long hair or whatever.
I think he could. His acting abilities could definitely pull it off for sure. But now that you mentioned Adam Driver, I really want Adam Driver now. Yeah, do that.
But I mean, Adam
because he understands the military culture.
Right,
too,
he can give you that 1,000-yard stare.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think he'd be really good at that. Holy shit.
I think Gosling's just a little too charming.
Exactly. That's my point.
He's got like Glenn Powell. Like they're just both kind of they're too charming for that role.
So what if
someone to be like evasive?
Ryan Gosling as Colonel Campbell.
There you go. He's too young.
You're gonna need some body back.
Young Colonel.
Or he could be the sheriff. He could be the... Because we've never seen Ryan as a bad guy.
That's actually a great idea.
That is a good idea.
And he's charming.
He's a young sheriff. He's taking care of his town.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
That's actually really
I do
good.
like that, yeah. And as Adam Driver as Rambo.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's really good. That'd be a great movie.
That movie fucks right now.
Yeah, exactly. Do that. Let's do that.
Let's get it done, folks. Put it on Twitter. Put it.
And yeah, you're right. We've never seen it. Well, we kind of saw him as a bad guy. He was a bank robber in that movie.
I never saw that. I want to see it still. Beyond the Pines or something.
Beyond the Pines. Yeah,
that's
where he met his wife, Ava Mendes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a. I mean, he doesn't play a villain. He's just a bank robber,
anti-establishment guy.
Yeah, exactly, anti-establishment.
But still, I would love to see his turn as a villain or a bad guy.
That's a good idea.
I mean, even like Drive, you can say he's kind of a bad guy. I mean, like he's the protagonist, but he's not doing good things.
Right.
True.
But damn, he's a good-looking guy.
Just really good-looking guy.
Could you see him? If they remade American Psycho and he played...
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That in a minute.
Because he also has that kind of 1,000-yard stare ability. Yeah.
There's options.
There's options, yeah. There are options.
Or just make new shit.
I mean, yes. Obviously,
let's just do that.
Obviously, new stuff is better.
Jesus.
But if we had to...
We're doing fun fan casting here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Fall Guy, I want to see it. I think it's still in theaters. I'm definitely going to.
Well, it's you know what it is. It's Memorial Day weekend. You got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. I'll try to catch it. But yeah, I want to support what Ryan Gosling's doing. I really like Emily Blunt too.
Oh, I love.
I love what she said about female characters in this last kind of like 7-8 years of filmmaking. Is like every time she opens a screenplay and she says and she reads, this is what she said. I'm quoting her.
Yeah,
quoting her. She said, every time I see strong female characters, she just rolls her eyes and is immediately bored.
Right.
Because they tend to be boring and you're just playing stoic the entire time.
Yeah.
She doesn't want that. She wants to be an actual human who's vulnerable, makes mistakes, still triumphs, but learns from her mistakes.
Yeah.
Because she makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So that's what she said.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
I get it as well. But off of Emily Blunt and her characters, I heard it a while ago. I don't know if they're still chasing it, but I remember hearing that Brolin and them want to come back and do a Sicario 3 at a point, and they want Emily Blunt's character to come back for the third one. And I was like, that'd be great.
Yeah, she was
phenomenal.
Fantastic.
That's a great fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
My God.
So again, really good female character.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Who and the big comeuppance is like she finally invites a guy over and like, this guy's gonna try to kill me. Yeah.
That's what you get, John Bernthal. You don't know if he's good or bad.
Right. Yeah, it's true. You never know. You could be the best guy, or you could be a psychopath.
Yeah,
he's another one. He's got that great
exactly.
I mean,
weird look to him.
Now, what if we did John Bernthal's Rambo?
I see. I'd buy it. I'd buy it in a heartbeat too.
That's good too. And Adam Driver as the sheriff.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Interesting.
Adam
Driver was set to deploy to Iraq, but he hurt himself in a bicycle accident, hurt his knee, and he didn't deploy. And he said he regrets it.
Huh.
Yeah, because he wanted to deploy with his boys. So, but
that's understandable.
I can't think of anybody.
He didn't serve at all over there, or
no, he didn't serve at all.
But he
was in the Marine Corps. He got honorably discharged. It's just he got injured.
But he did go over there to perform for the troops. Though,
I think he did that.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah. So I can't think of any other.
Hey guys, it's me, Kylo Ren.
Good soup. Get some good soup. You're nothing. You're nobody. Now join me.
Yeah.
Good.
That's my shit. That's a shitty attitude.
No, that was good.
I don't know. It's not even close.
I can't. Speaking of Memorial Day weekend coming up soon, I can't think of any other actor right now who's a veteran aside from him. I can't think of any.
His
older. His age.
His age. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
No. It's not something to do anymore, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, he wasn't really an actor when he was in the Marine Corps, was he?
No, he went to Juilliard afterwards.
Yeah, so
used his GI Bill to go, I think.
Well, let's tell the soldiers, hey,
money well spent.
Head to Juilliard after, because you got the trauma to act now.
Exactly.
So I need to join the military.
Yeah, you should.
So I become a better actor.
Yeah, you should.
So
like you're in the shit and you're like, I'm gonna use this.
Hey, recruiters, get ready to see me tomorrow. Because what's that? 8 in the morning? 8's good, right?
They're hurting so bad for people right now. They're probably taking.
Oh God.
So yeah.
What's the age limit though?
45.
Oh, just under the wire.
Oh, 35. Excuse me.
I'm past it. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. My bad.
They raised it to 45 at one point during the Iraq War. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but it's 35. Yeah.
Hey, let me pilot one of those drones. I could do that. I play video games all the time.
It's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's a video game.
Like just hopefully those targets are highlighted because Free Fire, I'm not going to be responsible.
No, you are, though.
I mean,
well, no, you are. Yeah, but you are.
Well, is that drone teabagging the enemy?
Watch this. Wait, they respawn, right? It's okay if it crashes, right?
Fall Guy, watch it. Yeah. We went off topic a lot.
Yeah, no.
But that's all right.
But they.
And then we recently watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We're just going through the older movies we've seen here. What'd you guys think of it, man?
Oh, good for it.
Well, I mean, I just was covered. I was Fall Guy, so you can go, and then I'll follow.
Okay, I fucking love these Ape movies. Yeah. I mean, I loved them as a kid, which is the first 5, whatever they are, are ridiculous. But and obviously they get worse and worse as they go. It's like the budget gets slashed by half.
And it gets crazier.
It does.
Yeah.
So I think when did Rise come out? 2006. Like that?
No. 2017.
Right? Oh, really?
Yeah.
That late?
I think so.
No, I can't be.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes with James Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah. Oh no, you're right. No, that was 2014, I think.
14. Okay.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah.
Well, since then, the new trilogy that came out of that, those movies should not be as good as they are. Like they have no reason being that good.
2011, my bad.
2011. There you go. So like that one, you had
Dawn was 2014.
Dawn, then War of the Planet. Fantastic,
great movies,
fucking great trilogy of movies.
And we've said it before; it's really a sleeper trilogy.
Yeah, and Matt Reeves did the last 2 of those ones.
He didn't do the first one.
No, he didn't.
Really? I thought the whole trilogy was his.
No, he didn't do that first one.
Okay,
but he did the second.
Nice.
It was directed by Rupert Wyatt.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have him come back, but those movies are fantastic. Great storytelling, great building of characters, great use of like this ridiculous IP of like fucking apes that talk, and just making these great like character pieces and like about family and found family and trying to create space for yourself and your culture. I mean, it really is. I mean, like it's weird they like are better than X-Men movies and they deal with the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, a lot of that is Andy Serkis too.
Yes, and when his character Caesar dies at the end of War, I was like, okay, wrapped up. They cleared a slate, and then so I was surprised when they announced another one. This one takes place 200 years.
I think it was 300.
Is it 300? I know it says like many generations.
Yeah. It doesn't. It says it online.
Yeah. So. Takes place and is really still connected to Caesar's storyline, and where the ape communities go, and how he has become legend and has become kind of mythos, and how his teachings from tribe to tribe of ape has changed, or like how people have taken the lessons in very different ways. And I mean, it's very much like this is how religion has started. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And we get to meet the new protagonist, Noah, who is part of this eagle raising tribe of apes. You get to see his way they have raised eagles from birth, from the egg, to using them to hunt, and it's amazing like society they built. Yeah. But but they're still very sheltered, versus like you find out there's other apes that are what's the Proxima? Yeah, Proximus apes. Yeah, who are these more like we're gonna conquer, we're gonna find this old technology, and it actually reminded me a lot of Fallout. Yeah. Like it reminded me a lot of like the the Metal Clan and Fallout. Like they're gonna find this old technology to kind of, and Proctor was even like, I don't understand this stuff, but I want to learn more. I want to conquer more. Which I love his character. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Kevin Durant killed it.
Yeah, he did a great job with it, man. Holy shit.
And so it's just this beautiful storyline, and then you even goes deeper in finding out more about the humans in this world. after pretty much the collapse of humanity, where are they at? And they're, Noah's Apes calls them echoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a great name.
So good.
So good, yeah.
Because they're silent and they just run around and there's like antelope.
Echoes of their civilization everywhere.
Yeah. Echoes of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we meet Nova, who is a female human who has been following Noah around, and you kind of get the sense that she is different. She is more aware than all the other humans, and then you realize, I mean, we're doing spoilers, right? So we find out that she can talk. She is intelligent versus every other human.
And her name's May. Played by Freya Allen.
And she comes from a tribe, or not a tribe. She comes from a human settlement, and she's trying to find this human bunker to help humanity, and will kind of stop at nothing to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of helping Noah. And what's the name of the orangutan now?
Oh, Raka.
Raka.
I loved Raka.
Raka's fantastic. Yeah. So it's a bit of a revenge story because Noah's tribe gets taken out by Proxima and his group. And Noah's trying to I gotta find my people. And that's all he cares about, really. Yeah. And May is kind of joining along because she kind of needs help to get into this bunker to find what will be a satellite hookup.
Yeah, it's an decryption key.
Thank you. Yeah. And we discover more humans. That there's a human played by
William H. Macy.
William H. Macy. What am I saying? Who is actually working with Proxima to try to teach him about the old ways and teach him about it, because he's like, this guy's got this insane appetite. For
for human knowledge.
Roman history and just anything that he can get his hands on. So, and it's I'd rather be a pet to this ape than be fucking food. So, it's really interesting. I loved it though. I thought the movie was phenomenal, and I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, it was great. There's a great scene in it. We all know that there was something up with May's character, with Freya Allen's character. But there's a great scene, and I love that this trilogy, that this film series takes its time with certain things, especially with Andy Serkis' face. He conveys so much with his face and his eyes playing Caesar. And one of the things that I love about this series is it really does the old adage of show, don't tell.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? So there's a scene where May's character, they finally come upon some humans, and the humans in this world are now very animalistic.
Yeah.
They kind of move around in packs. They can't speak because the simian flu has kind of, turned them dumb. Yeah. So they're pretty much just animals now to an extent, like what I guess apes used to be.
Yeah.
And she sees humans for the first time outside of this bunker that she's from. And she just can't contain herself. She just starts crying, how far we've fallen, basically.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say anything on any other, especially movies made within the last couple of years, would be like, I can't believe this is my people. We've fallen so far. Some stupid shit like that, But the camera just holds on her, just crying, showing how she's seeing how far humans have fallen. That this planet is now the planet of the apes. It's not the planet of humans anymore. And I love that. And then that's it. That they don't say anything else about it. And then she just I'm trying to get back. So we're trying to find a book. She tells.
The line is, I need a book to help
be able to
silent people communicate again.
To talk. Yeah.
It's so brilliant.
Yeah, it's
so
great.
Basic.
Before it was revealed to be a decryption key, when she did say it was a book, I was like, "Oh, is it going to be the Bible or something?"
Oh, that's what I was thinking too, man. Because
there's
Eli, Book of Eli. They're looking for a Bible, which.
And I was like, I'm not sure how that would help people be able to speak, but
I'm so glad they didn't do that, because it's an actual, quote unquote useful thing,
right?
Yeah.
Don't get mad at me, religious people. I'm just saying, this is, but it's I like that she had to leave her bunker to go and find this thing.
Yeah.
And she did say that she left with a group of people, but that
they got taken out.
Yeah, taken out. Proximus' apes had taken them out.
Yeah.
She's the only one that survived. So her mission is to get to this weapons bunker that it seems like it implies that they're in Los Angeles because you see the Los Angeles LAX airport in the back, in the background.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of somewhere like in San Diego, like the San Diego Naval Weapons Base.
I was just Golden Gate Bridge isn't in a shot. I thought I remember seeing.
I think it was. That might have been a different movie. I think.
All the other movies are set in the San Francisco area.
So you're probably thinking of that. I don't remember.
No,
seeing
I specifically remember like when they were near the water or getting close to it. I remember seeing a broken like a bridge was damaged.
They are on a bridge. Are you talking about that when they pass, like, they get trapped on the bridge?
Not the wooden bridge. Not the wooden one. There was like an actual... They didn't cross it, but it was like in a shot. I thought I remember.
Well, so
maybe that's San
I was
Pedro.
thinking... Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that was San Pedro.
Maybe.
You know. But anyhow, so they're trying to find a bunker that was where humanity, the human government, held up as the world collapsed around them. And she's trying to get in there. She finally finds a way. And Proximus people are also... Well, apes are trying to get in there.
Yeah.
But they're trying to blow this massive steel door to get to the weapons and technology that they know is inside.
Right.
Yeah. She knows the back way. They go in the back way, and then she gets that encryption. Another great scene that I love that they didn't say anything. You know, it's just she pulls out the encryption key and she like holds it. She like cradles it like. And she like they show her face and she's like so like, oh my god, it's like this relief that she has on her face.
Yet again, could be a monologue.
Exactly. Another movie would have been
this will save humanity.
This is the key that will save us. Some bullshit like that. Just
exactly.
Like, she just hold on the camera.
Say less.
Exactly. Yeah. And I love that. Good job, Matt Reeves, on that, and the writers. Good job.
I think that's also though because of the state of her world that she's been so silent, you know, in the beginning of the movie,
and she's trying to blend in,
and she has to be invisible in every way, so she can't let even the friendly apes that are helping her let them know
that's
what's
true.
really
I mean,
going
in that scene, she's by herself.
Look, if she's trying to be invisible,
well, true.
Don't wear clothes from the Gap.
Yeah, that was. She just stand out a lot because all the humans were just wearing rags and she's wearing pants.
Well, that was another thing I was questioning because like if it's been 300 years, how are those humans still like
able to clothe themselves?
Well, not even
they
that,
would
but they
be naked.
But I mean, they know all how to work the satellites and the
No. So those humans in the bunker they've been in there so long that the simian flu never touched them.
Oh,
that's why, because when she finally gets back to the bunker, she delivers a key. That person's in a hazmat suit,
okay.
And she's not allowed to come back in.
Yeah, they're not letting her in.
Yeah, remember at the end?
I think she's infected.
Yeah,
Oh, so maybe she was also crying because like now I'm gonna become like
that could be it too. Yeah, that could be it too.
Because it's very ambiguous, but like at the end, you know, when she does,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
when she turns on Noah, she does say something like, "I don't have time for this." Like I think she is on a limited time. Like she's like, "I'm gonna be gone."
That makes
probably
that makes her decisions a bit. Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like, if I need to save humanity, I gotta do this now.
Well, then also the one scene I was a little conflicted or confused by was after she was like they were rebuilding their back home. Noah's apes are back home, and they're rebuilding.
Yeah,
and then she goes to say goodbye to him, but she's holding like a pistol behind her back, ready to shoot him.
Well, because earlier they had said, "How can we live together? You can't trust humans."
Right.
They had said that, so that's kind of like a callback to that. Is like. Yeah, they're frenemies
well,
now.
Did. Yeah, well, she did turn on them.
She turned on them.
She went turncoat.
Yeah.
So maybe she was just like, "Look, this ape might just come after me."
Exactly. Yeah. She's protecting herself, but he's also knows that he can't 100% trust humans now.
Absolutely.
So that's
But like, it was just like I understood her character not trusting apes, but like it just felt at a weird time because she was helped and they're safe, and he's obviously not. You know, yelling at her like, "Why'd you do this? Why'd you do?" So like, I didn't feel like she had to be afraid at that moment of like and it kind of made it sense.
Looked threatening.
Well, no, she looked threatening.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's why I was like,
point. She's because they said you can't trust humans.
Yeah.
So in a way, they were right. You know?
But yeah, I was just trying to see like what would if she did shoot him just now, like what would her reasoning be?
Well, I think if he just like did get angry at her and looked like she felt like she was because I understand her because apes are very much stronger than humans. So
monkeys will rip your face off, man.
Yeah, they could rip your limbs off. Yeah,
no, I know that very much from many videos online.
So I would take a gun too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. Like,
bring a gun to a monkey fight.
If you've been through a hefty toll with man or ape, I think there'd be some trust there where it's like, oh, I don't need the gun, but like I'm just gonna have, like, if she had it holstered, it would have been still
right.
No,
fine.
she has it ready to go.
I mean, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
No,
I
understand both sides. I mean, again, it was them
they
saying,
weren't hugging at the end.
Yeah,
no,
it's them saying you can't trust humans, and her saying, yeah, you kind of can't.
Yeah.
So.
But it wasn't like he was going to be like, oh, you can't leave. Like I'd no inkling that he would be like, oh, I'm not going to let you leave now or something. Like that.
No, I mean, I think that
I don't think
the movie was trying
you
to
feel that from him at all.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
yeah. So that's why I was
the
like,
movie is just trying to reiterate, yeah, you can't trust humans.
Yeah.
Right. Look at her.
Well, I mean, I got that from when she blew the door and
Well, yeah.
the place flooded. So I didn't feel like the gun was needed for that scene, but I get it. I understand they were trying to do that more. But I was just like,
I love
pushing
that.
it.
There's a scene where she
it.
shoots one of the apes, and Proxima's like, "Oh,
yeah.
let me get one of those."
Yeah.
Right. Are there any more of those in there?
Yeah.
He was so excited.
He was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a wonderful day.
So good.
It was great. And
Kevin Durant killed it, man.
I love that
He gets fucking taken out by eagles, man. That was pretty great.
They called humans Novas.
Yeah.
And Nova was the name of the girl ape from...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I never saw I only saw the original one like a few days ago.
Oh.
You never saw the other two? Oh, dude.
No. I mean, I'm talking about...
the Charlton Heston one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen any of those original films.
I watched all of them. You're not missing much.
No, but it's still like a part of pop culture.
So the cool thing about this series is that they do the simian flu, which explains why humans died out. In the Charlton Heston series, they don't do that.
They don't really.
They just show the apes rising up, and it's like there's billions of humans, dude. There's no way that you got enough apes, no matter how smart they are, they could take the humans out. No way,
with the context of possibly what happened in those old movies, I was like, oh, I thought they just blew up the world with nukes. And
when I watched the Charlton Heston one again right before I went to go see this one, I didn't realize this, but there's a line in the Charlton Heston one's like, well, who knows what happened to humans? Maybe some disease wiped them out. He says that.
He does say that.
And so then he sees like the Statue of Liberty is wrecked, and it looks like it did kind of get hit by something.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe they were in that series. There's probably, because of course it was made in the 60s or in the height of the Cold War, so there was some type of nuclear exchange or something that killed everything. Yeah, but they don't show it because the rest of the movies are some are sequels and some are prequels.
They are bizarre. So the second one, which is Beneath the Planet of the Apes, they actually do blow up the Planet of the Apes because there's humans that live underground.
And they're like mutants.
Yeah, and they worship the H bomb.
Yeah, nuclear bomb. Yeah,
so they blow up the planet.
Yeah, it dies. Yeah.
And then. So the next one, you have Cornelius and the two chimpanzees actually find a time machine before the planet blew up, and they time travel back to Earth in the 70s. Huh. And she's pregnant, and their child is Caesar.
Uh-huh.
They get killed in the past, and Caesar gets raised in a circus. Mm-hmm. And that is the conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So he's an intelligent ape from the future.
Yeah.
It's very
War for the Planet of the Apes is humans. It's basically Woody Harrelson's movie.
Yeah.
Where they try to retake back the planet.
Yeah.
And I remember there's a cool scene in there where the humans go into like this supposedly deserted ape camp, but the apes are hiding. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then one of the apes gets up and is like, "Get up and fight like apes!" And they attack the humans. It's great.
It's been a very long time since I've seen them, but I remember like sci-fi would run them in sequence.
That's where I watched them all. Yeah.
I heard some people were giving this new movie flack because it was such a small scale film in the sense that it was just like why wasn't it I don't know, more grandiose or big? And I was like, well, you have to think about it this way. It's been 300 years, and then we're introduced to new tribes and they're going to be
whole new characters,
and also they're not going to be as. It's not like they have telephones and they're going to be talking to each other.
Also, did you notice the apes broke up? Like there's gorillas and there's apes and there's like orangutan. Like they're separate tribes.
Exactly.
Which is like they're just repeating the same mistakes that humans.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say though, proximate, like because he had I don't know if he had more than one gorilla.
He had mostly gorillas. Yeah.
No, he had regular.
Yeah. No. I mean, he had other ones, but it was mostly gorillas. Like his
muscle,
warriors were like gorillas,
which is more like the original movie.
Exactly.
Like the chimpanzees with the scientists.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the orangutan.
The orangutan was Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas, yeah.
Was the smartest ones.
But
Dr. Zayas.
Well, like
and they were more like the political ones with the orangutans.
They were more like the leaders. Yeah.
But like the head guys hunting people down with the gorilla ape.
Yeah.
They were more like chimpanzees because like they were almost like shaven chimps or something like that because they seemed more feral and wild.
I believe they're bonobo apes, which are like
same with the extra fur like around the mane type of thing. Yeah. So I think there was
what was the bad guy ape in the last couple versus Caesar.
Yeah. Well, the thing was
Koba.
I like everyone's name ends with like an sound because it's like they're trying to keep it with like, okay, apes are very limited with what they can actually do with their with their bodies. So everything was like Noah Proxima.
Yeah.
The but I think with the that's my new beat. No, what was I saying? Though I think the Caesar, Proximus, I think because he's like, what do you see out there? And he's like, I see a kingdom. And so he's been pulling all these different apes together, and he's been actually mixing.
But he's been making them slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously. I mean,
but all of Noah's, I won't say people, but all of Noah's tribe are all apes.
No, of course.
Chimps, yeah.
And then the ones who attack him are gorillas.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I remember specifically, it wasn't all gorillas that attacked them, though.
It was mostly gorillas. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was all gorillas who attacked them originally, though. I'm pretty sure it was.
Because there were some chimps there, too, that was burning the village because they were smaller than the gorilla.
Yeah. Well, anyway, regardless, all of Noah's people are chimps. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being a film nerd. I think you're mistaken, Stan.
I don't think I am actually. I don't think I am. Noah's tribe was.
We'll leave it to the fans to see who is correct.
They're very similar simians.
I think we're all apes, huh? Can we say that?
We're all very closely related to them. It's like 99.9% DNA.
I'm a mirror image of God, so that's
dude.
what the Bible told me.
That makes sense.
Just
like a Brit to think that. Huh?
I mean, yeah, they would think that.
We invented Darwinism, son.
Well, we invented cheeseburgers, son.
That's true.
Bam.
Beat that.
Pen drop.
Oh,
you really can't.
What? You got fish and chips? Barf.
But yeah,
barf. Woof.
But yeah, Kingdom Planet of the Apes. I recommend it. It was great. It was a great film. Again, it's such a sleeper. Now I think they're going to go back to like the Charlton Heston type. The next movie I think was going to be that. It's like the astronauts crash landing on Earth and finding out. Who knows how they're going to do it, but that might be the next one.
So do you think another couple hundred years will pass?
Probably somewhere around there. Because Charlton Heston's movie takes place 700 years after the fall of humanity.
So we're not going to see Noah again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we're going to see Noah again.
Well, which is a shame because like he was such an interesting character and like his tribe is cool, and so I was like, wow, it would be terrible to just throw the character away. So
true.
That's why I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, you could talk about like his descendants, possibly, and still have that tribe.
That's true.
Also, what was a weird part? It was at the end of the movie. Proximus is taken out by eagles because Noah's tribe were like eagle. We're eagle callers.
Yeah, you get to sing with the eagles, baby.
But this was a weird thing. So like, you have to sing Hotel California. There's like 60 of Noah's apes up there of tribe, probably more than that. And there's Proximus, and he's like beating the shit out of Noah, and his tribe is just standing around like, I'm like, the fuck is this, man? Jump his ass! Like, what are you guys doing? Dude?
Well, I like,
and there's like warriors, quote unquote, amongst them. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Jump on his ass!
I don't know if it was portrayed well on screen, but I think his ape was, even though all those apes could have taken him, I think he was like surprisingly much taller than the rest of them.
Oh, Proximus, he's
for sure.
Like,
he's huge.
He's a big guy.
He's huge, but like if the entire tribe just jumped his ass right there,
But yeah, I mean, I know
they didn't even try. I mean, I can.
It wasn't like Black Panther, like you get his
trial by combat.
The power of the Black Panther is taken away.
Yeah. What I would like to have seen with that scene is a couple of them, like they try and he easily like beats
he throws a
bunch of them
and cliff or something.
Yeah, and he's like pretty much beats the shit out of all of them.
Yeah.
That would have been like, but they're just kind of standing there like, I don't know, Noah, you're on your own, bro. Yeah. You've known your whole life and you're a boy, but I don't know, you're on your own.
Peace out.
Yeah, so I don't know what happens. If you get killed now, I don't know.
You better learn to speak Eagle real quick.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Proxima survived the fall?
I mean, they definitely left it open.
So, apparently there is a bit of a post-credit at the end where you hear a breath in the water. Like, they hear,
Yeah.
But a lot of people are going, it's probably Raka.
Yeah. Because he would be a great character to bring back, too. So.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I mean, either or. I would be happy with either or coming back because they were such dynamite characters. So,
Yeah. King of the Planet of the Apes, recommend it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then, I don't know if you saw this, Chad, but Watson and I recently saw Furiosa.
Yeah, we saw Furiosa.
Oh, yes. I did actually get to see it.
Nice.
Oh, you did see it? Okay, good.
I did.
I wanted to go see it. We watched it yesterday because I wanted to be ready for it today because it's a movie we really want to talk about. So Watson invited me to go. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so what did you guys think of Furiosa?
Man, we have been spoiled by these post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like Boy Kills World, and then Apes, and then this. I'm all like, man, the future's bleak, but damn entertaining.
Yeah,
I loved it. I mean, I definitely had some pacing issues. I think with the movie. I still think that Fury Road is a better made movie.
Definitely.
And more, I think there's more action in that, and more like it might be the same amount of length of time. I'm not sure, like time wise, which one's longer, but this one definitely felt longer,
much longer,
right? And I get there's a lot more story to cover in this because we're dealing with the Fury Road is literally there's like Max just gets kind of thrown into this adventure.
Right.
Kind of, I mean that's like all the Mad Max movies basically. And this is like, no, we're gonna establish, the Green Place, stuff we talked about in Fury Road is all gonna get covered here. But I thought it was really well done. I thought it was really well shot. I loved all the action sequences.
Yeah.
The world is incredible and visceral and fun and gory. So I dug it. I don't know. What are you guys?
I really like the movie. I agree with you on the pacing. When you're doing an origin story like that, that's going to come into play.
Yeah.
And if you look at some of the older Mad Max films, like the first one especially, can be a bit slow.
Oh yeah. That one's a grind.
So I was like, okay, I understand that, but like how we only see Anna Taylor-Joy, like an hour into the movie or so.
Yeah,
or
I was surprised.
Like
I was
the first 20 minutes, or
yeah,
just the young kid.
I was like, wow, there's a lot of this kid story.
Yeah, and like Anna doesn't speak much either, which is fine, only because like I mean Tom Hardy didn't speak at all. I don't think
he had like a couple of lines.
Very few.
But the action, it was weird. I had this watching it. The action, it was there, but I think it was missing the music. But on the way here, I was actually listening to both, jumping back and forth between the two movies, and there was this intensity to Fury Road, and I think that's because that movie is all about an escape. You're escaping the whole time.
Yeah.
And this one, it's telling a story, so there will be moments of like just tranquil, atmospheric stuff. But during the action scenes, it was very quiet and I get it if you're just trying to show the engines and the mechanics.
I kind of liked some of the chases where you're just hearing the cars in the back, like they're in the middle of the desert and it's so quiet.
Yeah, and
then you just there's a one bit where the guy's like, "There's a thunderous motorcycle," and you can hear it like miles away.
And I like that too, but like I think music does add to an action sequence. It
elevates it, yeah.
Especially like a chase, and so like when they have the Warhog. When they first bring out the
rig.
Warhog rig, like that. A lot of action was happening, but I felt there was like something else that was just missing there that it could have amped it up to the next level. So there was that, and then there was also I can understand him using CG this time around, and it was very noticeable to me, and I get it for whatever reason they had to use it, and a lot of green screen stuff, and like I just it was too noticeable at a time.
Yes,
I would just be like, oh, this just took me out of it.
There was a lot of CGI in Fury Road, but it was so stylized.
Yeah.
I think it was easy to dismiss.
So I don't know if they just didn't have enough time to like finish some of that CG. I don't know, but like I wish it was a little or hidden a bit more, because like when they felt like some of those characters were like Jedi, the way they jump on a horse or like another vehicle. I was like, oh yeah.
There was a part where so Furiosa's taken in the beginning.
Yeah.
And a horse is riding up.
Yeah. The
and
mother.
She jumps on the back of the horse, and it looks so cheesy, dude. It's just like that was obviously CGI, and they fucked it up because like she like jumped up there so quickly. You know when that wonkiness.
She does like 6 foot vertical leap on sand.
Yeah, it's like that.
Wait a minute.
Uncanny Valley thing. Yeah, it's like that. That's not. There's something off with that.
There was some of those with like vehicles going up the side of a mountain.
Yeah,
or hill. I was like,
and they fall over too quickly.
Yeah,
it looks like it's sped up.
It's gravity. Yeah, they gotta deal with like weight and gravity.
Yeah,
and they're not doing that.
And then it's like they're kind of bouncing around.
Yeah. So and I would say the movie's still fun.
Yeah,
but it was just there were a lot of things that took me out of it, and
same here.
And I was trying to match it on the Fury Road level, and that was probably why. Also, I will say when I did see it, I had a guy next to me. It kind of ruined. I think I'm going to see it again probably this week. But there was, I think he probably had Tourette's or something like that. But like the guy next to me the whole time, he kept going, ha. Ha! Like, and at the first I was like, oh, he must be just excited about the movie, but it was like every few minutes, and I was like, and I can't tell the guy to be quiet because he probably can't control him.
Yeah,
his impulse there.
Tick or something.
Or something. So I was just like, sucks. So I don't remember a lot of the dialogue because of. That's what I was hearing in my ear the whole time.
Ooh,
so
that sucks,
so I'll probably see it again in Dolby or something like that, just to get another shot at like giving it a go. But
it was Christopher Walken next to you.
But it's like, and it wasn't like humorous at all too, because like also when it got very silent in the movie, that's all you heard was him doing it. So I was like, but so that was kind of also what took me out of the movie. So I want to give the movie another go just to see if I feel differently about it after the fact. But So
Watson and I watched it in 40X with
my favorite way of seeing shit.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, 40X, okay. I mean, he bought the ticket, so I was like, okay. Which was a ride, dude.
I don't doubt it.
You were getting slammed around in those things. Which 40X is never my first choice to watch a movie.
Not me.
But that
it makes it a roller coaster ride.
It does, dude.
It's ridiculous. When the war rig's going up. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like. You're flying around your seat.
It was funny too because before the movie started, like Stan was like, "God, it's hot in here. I hope they turn on the AC." Yeah. And then as soon as did you notice when the motorcycles started going, they cranked up the AC.
Yeah.
So it was like wind was blowing in your face.
Oh wow,
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, Watson, what were your thoughts on it?
I mean, yet again, like I really didn't have a lot of problems. I think pacing wise, it got a little slow in the middle. Like if her initial if the idea is for her to escape, right? She gets away from Dementus, played by Chris Hemsworth, who's having a fucking
great
ball.
time.
Oh, he killed it.
He's having such a great time during this, and then she ends up with Immortan Joe, and then she gets away from him.
Which is one of the plot holes I have to talk about.
And then, 6 years go by? I don't know how many.
Seems like more.
They show the branches. Well,
she says 15 years since her mother died.
Right.
So who knows how long she was with Crimson Hemsworth people? So let's say 12.
Right.
She's been with Immortan Joe's.
So, but and like I don't know what she was. I mean, other than working that little door rig thing,
Yeah.
Like, was she planning to escape, or would she just like, this is my life, you know?
That's the other problem I had with the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, and then she finally was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get on this war rig." So in my head, I had a story written out of like, "Oh, she's gonna start working on the rig and befriend the mechanic guy."
Oh,
the mechanic who was like building the rig, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that's the guy that's gonna build her arm in the end.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought too.
And then that guy gets blown up. I'm like, okay. And then it's like, she knows how the rig works because she worked on it. And she's actually
she ends up getting recruited onto
competent mechanic and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then you get
well, she ends up getting recruited onto it because she sneaks onto it to try to escape.
Yeah.
And then the mechanic ends up dying, so she has to save the rig.
Kind of takes the job on. Yeah.
And Mad Max Light.
Yeah, I called him Mad Max from Wish. Yeah. Jack.
Yeah, Praetorian Jack.
Yeah, played by this guy named Tom Burke. Mm-hmm. He sees that she's handy with the rig, and that she knows how to defend herself. So he asks, like, come on to my rig, come on to be my co-driver, basically.
Right, and then they kind of have a relationship. It's kind of again not really established.
And I hated that shit. Mike, are they into it? They're obviously into each other somehow. And like when you see them go for a kiss, they do the head bob. And I'm like the forehead touch thing. Right. I'm like, fuck off, dude. Just either they like each other. No, which one is it? Like, fuck off. Don't you have the guts to have? You have the guts to kill 1,000 people. Do you have the guts to have these two have a relationship? Come on.
Well, no,
I didn't like that.
When they were leaning for that, it did not look like a kiss at all, and I knew they were going for the head because that's what she's known to do.
Yeah,
like she's good for the head.
Well, yeah, but no, like she's done that with her mother, and like
but that's her mother though.
But still, you don't know if that's her whole tribe. Like the other woman that said when she's like, "Lee, stay behind," they did it to each other.
You know what I wanted? I wanted a line from her to be like, my goal was to go home, but I have to kill this guy for killing my mother. Right. You know, like that. If that was the reason she was staying,
and it seemed like that's exactly why she was staying
to try to get. It was never said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like I needed something.
Yeah, and then when she's underneath the war rig, it seemed like she was trying to escape.
Yeah. Right.
Because she had a motorcycle, so if she was under there to try to get
and she
into
had food and everything to try and get back to.
Right, and if she was under there trying to sneak into Gastown to kill, that, I'm like, okay, but she had a motorcycle.
Right.
I was like, is that to get back? I don't, or to get away after? I don't.
It feels like it was a secondary thought of like, actually, I want revenge.
Well, I think the revenge only came into play after Praetorian Jack was killed.
Yeah,
and like
it did seem that way.
She was like, come with me.
She's mainly trying to get home with the seed,
right?
Because that was the promise from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then after she got close with Jack. And after he got murdered, he's like, "Oh no, I want revenge." He's taken so much from me now,
right?
Two people I cared for,
and that was a weird part because, like, is she trying to get revenge? Oh, but now it's like she's trying to get revenge for Jack as well,
right?
Or just for Jack?
It was clear, like when she caught up with Dementus, that she mentioned her mom's, like, you took my mom.
Well, but it wasn't clear because, like, she was saying, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is she trying to get away, or is she trying to take revenge for her mother? But now she's also trying to, I'm going to get away.
Well, no, before
because she meets Jack, she's like, let's just go. She forgets the revenge thing. But then he gets killed. Like, okay, now I'm going to get revenge.
Yeah.
I was like,
like initially she wanted to get away.
It's a little muddy.
Yeah.
Like I read it as initially she wanted to get away, go home. Right. And then
he's kind of like,
but why did she sneak onto the war rig though with the motorcycle?
Because she's trying to escape.
She's trying to get away from the Citadel.
But think of this though. So like it goes from the Citadel to Gastown.
Yeah.
So if they didn't get attacked, she would end up inside Gastown, inside a walled compound. How did she get away from that?
Well, no, I think she was trying to. I mean, we don't know when she was planning to let go of the bike and like.
Why it's moving at 70 miles an hour?
I mean, who knows? Like, I don't know her mindset towards when she was gonna get off the rig.
We don't know her mindset either because the writers didn't know.
But I would say
there was no clear plan.
No, there wasn't.
But her plan was to escape. It wasn't. I didn't read it
at that point. Yeah,
I never read it as she was vengeful at that point because anytime Dementus was brought up, she didn't really like react.
Well, okay, but then at the end when she kills Chris Hemsworth's character, she doesn't mention Jack at all. She only talks about her mother.
Well, I think that it was the emotional moment at that time. So it's a weird thing. Yeah, she didn't bring up Jack, but like I think the most memorable moment they had together was the mother, because that's what started this whole thing. Yeah. She lost her home, she lost her mom,
right?
Yeah. And then Jack was just a thing that was added on at the end there. Like we don't know how long.
It still doesn't make it. It still doesn't add up.
Yeah, and then I guess it's. There's definitely holds a logic of I thought the map on her arm would play more. Like
that's what I thought too.
I thought
they're gonna cut it off.
Dementis would see it and be like, "That's the way." Yeah. I thought she would cut it off.
Yeah.
To and destroy the arm so they couldn't find their way to the Greenland, and then she would be like, "Well, I can never get there."
Yeah.
And that's why she goes back to Morton Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that would take place. I thought it would go in that direction as well. But I was like, oh, her arm got damaged from the chase.
Yeah.
And then she had to detach it to escape. So.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
But
I mean, there's I like the movie. I give it a B-, but there are some issues that I had with it. One of the major plot holes was, so in the beginning when she's 10 and Morton Joe sees her and says, "Who's that?" And he's very excited to see her. He's like, I'll take her.
She's a full life.
Yeah. Right. I'll take her and I'll make her one of my wives. Obviously, when she comes of age, whatever. He throws her in with his wives, and I guess it's implied that once she gets puberty, he'll make her his wife, right? But then she just runs away because his son takes her for some reason, and then she makes this. They make this whole elaborate plan with this. She's has a wig on top of this cap, so she can when he grabs her hair, she can just run off.
Yeah, because he kept.
Yeah, and he does that.
The bells.
Yeah, he likes the bells. She does that. She runs off, and then she just kind of disappears under the bridge. And he's like, "Oh well, I guess she got away." And then it's never brought up again.
Right.
That Morton Joe, I think, would be the entire motivation of his the first movie was to get his wives back. And in this one of his wives goes missing, and he's just whatever. It's okay. And then they never question where nobody looks for her. It just, I guess they kind of just forgot about her, which is weird because that was one of his main points for the trades, for the negotiations, was her.
Right.
And she just disappears. He's like, okay, well, I traded a lot for her. Fucking find her. So it's just he kind of just forgets about her. So,
right, and then when she becomes the war rig Furiosa,
they're just
nah. He's never she looks
familiar. You have blue eyes like that one chick. Oh, how old are you? You look kind of. It's never brought up again, which is really strange. That's one of the major plot holes I had of it. But okay, whatever. But then the one that was really confusing that I think was kind of, which really took away a lot of points from me, was we have Dementis, who knows that she's from a green place,
right, and a place of abundance.
But then he just kind of forgets about that too, and I think you mentioned he thought that the Citadel was the place of abundance.
They head to the Citadel first, and he's like, "Well, this has got to be the place because there's green."
Right. However, it shows them being with her for a good long while,
time, yeah.
So they're kind of traveling through the desert, even if it's a couple weeks or months, he never brings it up again. The green place, you have a limited amount of fuel and a limited amount of food and water. You come from a place of abundance. You better tell me right now where it's at instead of just wandering around the desert.
Well, I think it shows.
So he kind of just forgets about it too.
When they first find her, he's like, "Oh, wash her, make her." I think he's trying to butter her up and make her trust him.
Yeah.
To get the information.
I guess, but he keeps her in a cage and he has a gag around her mouth and shit. And,
yeah.
Well, because she knows. He knows she'll try to escape. After he killed her mom, it's she's got no reason to tell him anything.
Yeah.
And how is he going to torture her? Really, he's not going to hurt her because.
Well, he can though.
He can, but obviously she's not. She's resilient or not resilient. She's resourceful, and probably is stubborn enough not to say anything. Still.
Yeah, but I mean, again,
her mom trained her.
You have to think of it. You got to think of it they're not sitting on a base with water and food.
No.
They're driving around in the desert with limited resources. She knows a place that has resources.
Yeah.
And they're not like,
They're abundant.
Yeah, and they're not like, okay, it's been a while. Maybe we should just torture her to get the information out because fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just kind of, like what I'm saying is, he just forgets about it.
Well,
he just kind of forgets about that.
By that point, he finds the Citadel and then...
Yeah, but it's been a while that she's been with them, though.
Well, also, but I think...
Because they have enough time to attack another group.
But I think it's because he also got attached to her as a fatherly figure as well.
Yeah, he does mention that
when they were pulling apart that guy with the bikes, and then he leans up against the cage to watch with her.
Yeah,
he like offers her the teddy bear.
Yeah.
And, so I think he likes her.
Yeah, I think by that point he does. Yeah.
I guess,
and that's why I didn't really. I think he's like, fine.
He's like,
she'll tell me.
I treat you well, and like these other assholes.
Taught you laws of the wasteland and things like that. So I think he's like, she'll tell me eventually. I'm not going to force it toward, but I think he also, he just really likes her as having her around in that sense as almost his kid, quote unquote.
I love the costume design is so great.
Mike, if this doesn't win an Oscar for best costume design, I don't know what the...
Because it's just like, everyone's just covered in shit. Like, everyone... I love, like, because Jack says, like, oh, my parents were around at the fall of society. Like, they were soldiers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so we're less than one generation out.
Yeah, exactly.
Since the apocalypse. Yeah. When did we all start wearing like cod pieces?
Right.
And just,
did you mention that? Do you notice the cod pieces?
Everyone's got fucking cod pieces. Yeah, it was great.
I love that. Yeah.
It's just like, is that going to take us like 10 years after the fall? We're all just going to be like, fuck it, let's wear leather skins.
Right. And I was like,
hats on hats.
Let's say it's been 30 years since the fall.
Right.
I mean, so some of those guys were like grocery store workers.
Right.
And now they're like driving around motorcycles with like skulls on them. It's just like, I get that things fall apart pretty quickly. But I don't think it falls out that quickly. It's like,
it's Australia. Yeah. We all know.
Well, that's true. They're running around like that. That's just a regular dress.
That would be funny if it cuts to the rest of the world. Everyone's fine.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, why are you guys dressed like that?
Yeah, it's just a cruise ship shows up. You're like, what's going on here?
Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
But I really like.
I heard the apes are up there.
Yeah. I really love the costume design, especially with Dementis.
Yeah,
because after the red flare gun,
the flare gun,
it painted his hair,
his beard,
and his cape. But then also like later when I guess he was in another kind of explosion type of thing.
Yeah,
and the cape turned black, and he's like, "Now I'm Doc Dementis," and he kept changing his name. I was like, "That's hilarious."
Yeah.
But I really Did you guys like the little cameo of the original Max? Mad Max on the cliffside?
I saw that.
I was like, that's cool.
I listened to like an interview after the fact, and they were talking about like, well, all these stories, these Mad Max movies, are these tales of the desert, right? Yeah. Tales of the wasteland, and so no one really knows time wise where they line up.
Yeah.
So it's like, Max could be there, he might not be. Like, it's all this kind of hearsay, and even like at the end when when it's described about how she killed Dementis.
Yeah.
Like, no one really knows. Like, these are all like, they're all like folklore.
Yeah.
Well, I liked, it was kind of like a callback to Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Because at the end, the kids are telling the story of Mad Max. Ooh, and it's like, it's like, and like, what happened to him? And they're kind of making up their own stories. And at the end, you just see Mad Max as they're seeing him walking through the desert down the road.
Right.
And so I saw that, I caught that callback, which is pretty cool.
Well, also that with other people telling the stories, they can always fabricate what those people
that's
were.
What I'm saying.
Well, no, but I mean fabricate what those people are wearing too. So maybe they aren't wearing like leather clad things in the desert. Yeah. So
I love the cod pieces. Those are great. What a great touch that was.
So ridiculous. Yeah. Well, I love like the history man has like the tattoos of all the text on him, and even on his clothes.
Yeah. That guy was, by the way, 40 when the world fell apart.
Yeah.
So
he was maybe a history teacher. Or something.
Yeah, he was.
That's what a lack.
He was a software designer.
Right. That's what a lack of water will do.
Yeah.
It's true.
Everyone looks
dry up.
Yeah. Like Ben Kenobi and shit.
Yeah. The what do you call it? Although I did think Praetorian Jack, I was like, I could see if they did some other Mad Max movies, he could be that Mad Max like from the Mel Gibson, because he was pretty good. I was like,
he had a good look to him, and like,
he did.
It kind of makes sense why she would trust Max when he shows up, because it's like, oh yeah, it's a very much like I remember a guy much like this. Yeah.
But like even his face and hair and also like when he kicked her out of the rig, and then you hear a voice goes like, "Hey, what are you doing trying to run away?" And like that actually sounded almost close like to Mel Gibson's. I was like, "Oh shit." For a minute I was like, "Oh, is that Mad Max?" And then I was like, "Oh no, it's him." It's just
It's funny. For a moment I was watching it going like, why doesn't she have an Australian accent? Like right. I enjoy it. Like I mean, obviously she's doing her best Charlize impression as that character, but it's like, so she was born in the green, area. She was raised by Morton. Everyone else is speaking Australian.
Well, Morton Joe isn't have an Aussie accent though.
Oh, okay.
It's more like just a
Bane,
type of. Well, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
type of.
Yeah.
And I love that nipple guy.
Oh,
he's
nipple
just grabbing
guy.
his nip.
Yeah,
the whole time.
His suit with little holes.
Oh, by the way, I didn't get it. Why I missed this part. So when Chris Dementis comes to meet with Morton Joe for the first time.
Oh, he's got the spike to the guy's head.
And somehow he has like...
So the spike...
He's got clamps to his nipple?
He's got chains going from his nipples to the spike rail.
Right.
So he was going to hand it over. I don't know.
I don't understand.
He just wanted to have his nipples.
And also didn't get what happened. Like somehow they grabbed him and he let go of the... And he's like, what the fuck you do that for?
Hold this.
Yeah.
But it was just so, there's so much tension there.
Yeah.
And Hemsworth, big dude.
Yeah.
Looks great in this movie. Right. Yeah. Hands it to this random dude. And it's like,
And they kill the guy. And then the chains are attached to his nipples and they rip out. I'm like, why did you do that? Why would they attach your nipples?
A little, invasive. I don't know.
Again, some things that some of the choices they make in this movie.
Don't question the wasteland.
Well, we'll find out more. Apparently, there's a sequel in the works.
Really?
Yeah, Mad Max Wasteland movie.
Well, so this will be following Mad Max then?
I hope so. I hope we finally get a Mad Max movie. In a Mad Max film. So.
Well, I mean, I would just be curious because like now. Would this take place after Fury Road and bring back Tom Hardy, or
I think it would take place after Fury Road? Yeah,
because I mean they could do more prequels and then
I mean
I would love to have Tom Hardy. I want to see just a Mad Max movie with Tom Hardy. Can we do that? His adventure.
Well, and I brought up
both these movies have been Furiosa's movies.
Yeah, I mean I still think we could do an old man Max movie with
Gibson.
With Gibson,
I would
love that. Especially. Yeah. He seems to be working on directing and starring in another Lethal Weapon movie.
I've been hearing a lot about it, but I haven't heard much of like they started development yet or something.
You're on the Warner Brother lot. Just stick your ear out.
I thought
if you hear some cool sax coming out.
Well, no, I thought it was 20th Century Fox owns Lethal Weapon.
Oh, is that Fox?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just filmed on the WB or something like that. I think. I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. You folks out there, you other nerds out there, yes.
Chad's fucking wrong.
Yes. Enter the Nerdom at gmail.com. Send the corrections. We'll read them. We'll read them live.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
Do it live. I mean it's an interesting movie. I give it a B-. I think, dude, there's that action scene when they're riding from the Citadel to Gastown.
Yeah.
And that like kind of splinter group attacks them.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
It was wow. That's a great action scene.
Yeah, I just love like the most ridiculous ways to like. I'm gonna put a giant fan on my back and parachute in, and then you're gonna
paragliders. Yeah,
it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then they have a car that launches an actual like glider.
Yeah,
yeah. It's great. Yeah,
it's so good.
It's great.
What did you guys think of her casting, being recast from Charlize to Anna Taylor?
I mean, I think it made sense because this is a young Furiosa, and then we were talking about after the movie, and you said you would be okay with Charlize Theron being cast in this.
Yeah, I mean, because there's such a time jump.
Yeah, I think that this makes sense because they kind of look alike, and this is supposed to be a very young woman.
Yeah.
So Charlize Theron, I'm not dogging Charlize Theron, I love her, but she is older now. Mm-hmm. She's like in her 50s, I think. So it'd be a little. It'd be kind of weird to see her in that role because it's like, well, she's not quite, because it would think like, okay, she's been there for 20 years at this point,
right?
You know, 2025, whatever it is, you know. So it's
if you think about how the desert and the wasteland could possibly age you,
yeah.
I think she could have still been in it because she's wearing paint on her face. You really wouldn't really notice a lot of the wrinkles or anything like that, and the fact that like it was so quick to her leading right up to the beginning of or near the beginning of the Fury Road. I was like, well, you could have just had Charlize there. So I mean,
and just also like Charlize is like a not full body. That sounds weird, but you know, she's.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
she's a large enough person. And Angelina Jolie is just kind of too slight of a person.
There's a part at the end where she's standing over the body of Dementis, and she looked like a kid.
Yeah,
like she's not very tall. I mean, in real life, I'm not sure. I think she's like maybe 5'4", 5'5", some 5'6".
Yeah, and Charlize is like 6.
Yeah, so it's like she's standing over this, and like it also. I hate to say it, but it looked kind of goofy when she was hitting Dementis.
Oh, with
which is Chris Hemsworth. It's Anna Taylor-Joy hitting Chris Hemsworth.
Right.
And it's like, they show it in the movie, he just kind of takes it like, okay, whatever.
Well, he even says he's like, I take so much pain.
Yeah, he takes so, that's the kind of like the loophole they have to use.
Right.
Like, okay, we're just going to say he's high tolerance of pain because it does look kind of goofy to see Anna Taylor-Joy, who's probably 105.
Well, I mean,
hitting Chris Hemsworth, who's like 6'5", you know. So it's just kind of like...
Even with that body difference, so if you're hitting someone with the butt of a gun, it's still going to hurt.
Well, yeah, but that's...
Or knock
that's what I'm talking about. When she hits him with the arm, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She hits him, she clocks him with her fist, like her actual fist.
Well, there was... No,
there was a point... She starts hitting with other things.
Yeah.
But she hits him with her fist. And it's like, come
she
on.
gives him a right hand.
Yeah. And it's like, if she actually tried that in real life, she probably would hurt her hand.
But obviously,
and
I mean...
Chris Hemsworth would be like, are you okay?
True. But it's also like, you know, the whole thing is unbelievable. I
know what you mean, but like there has to be some believability at some point. We don't see her flying around like Superman.
No,
we saw that, we'd be like, okay, this. All right.
Well, I mean, like, I mean, some of the explosions and things they've been in.
Of course, yeah.
No way. Like the rocket launcher she took. Obviously, she would have been.
Of course, but there is certain realms of believability. Yes, I understand. Yes, suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
but there is a limit to that. You know. There is a limit to that. When it comes to physicality, that's where the limit generally is reached. Yeah. You know, that's where it's like, yes, you can have a nuclear weapon explode in somebody's face and they come at it with some burns looking like a Looney Tunes character. Yeah. You know, okay. But when you got someone very tiny beating up someone very large and a hand-to-hand fight, that's when you're like, for some reason, that's where your brain is like, okay, this is, you know.
I also think, though, like, since he's kneeling, and she's got the leverage of being higher
above him.
It's a bigger punch than it would be if he was standing up taking it and stuff like that. So,
I think that's why he's on his knees in front of her a lot. Yeah. You know,
when he has that little like shaky seizure thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Was that him?
I don't know if that was
trying
him.
to fake it.
I didn't get it either.
No, I think he.
Or was he just really fucked up?
I think it was like.
Because it kind of happens out of nowhere.
No, it does. Yeah. It does. And
then he just kind of gets up after, like, man.
I don't know if like being hit like that could cause a seizure or something like that.
Absolutely could.
So then it could have been that, like so many butts of the gun.
Yeah, no, she's hitting with her metal arm. Yeah. Doesn't matter how big you are at that point. You hit somebody with a metal arm, you're gonna fuck them up. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a delayed reaction where he's like,
I don't know. I didn't really understand it either.
But I mean, he was conscious when they revealed that the tree was his death, like, or his torture.
I love that. It was so. See, that's what I'm saying with like the mythos of it all, and like making like fairy tales of the death of the wasteland. Of like, it's very Prometheus. Yeah. You know how Prometheus is constantly getting eaten alive, kind of thing. And you've got this, you know, this tree of life growing, and it's like, oh yeah, his body is the soil.
Yeah.
I love that. And he's alive, but just kind of like wasted away. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent movie. I don't think it's better than Fury Road, but it's still worth a watch. Still worth a watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great addition to that franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they all hit pretty hard, one way or another. And I can't wait to see. I mean, George Miller's 80-something years old now.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully we see another real Mad Max title out of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't wait.
All of what you just said, but also I think this movie, they had a chance to do it, but obviously they're not going to do it now. But they could have split it into 2 movies, one with a young Furiosa and then one with the older, and she finally gets a revenge as the older Furiosa.
It's
so
very like Kill Bill kind of thing.
Yeah, so you have time with young her, and then you're kind of there with her at the time she takes Dementis's life and stuff like that. So I think that it was just all so quick in one movie. Also, the chapters thing slowed it down for me.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was
an interesting way to
I'm
do
gonna
it.
make it artsy.
I was like, yeah, you didn't need to do. You could have just told it without it splitting it like a chapter thing. But I get it. I get it though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a good time watching it. I think the final scenes were like, I was like, all right, speed this up. Come on, let's go. Because she's like talking to him, and he's like, doesn't even remember her mother's name, and I get that that was making her more angry. But that whole scene, I think,
for him it was a Tuesday.
Certainly, it could have been like, could have been like 10, 15 minutes shorter. That movie.
Imagine Raul Julia in Mad Max movie.
That'd be great.
Would have been
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Mad Max. Check it out.
The road not taken.
And we also have to talk about the X-Men 97 finale.
Ah, yes.
What did you guys think about that?
Pretty epic.
Did you wait till Saturday again to watch it, Chad?
Yeah, no, I watched it.
You're all caught up, right?
I'm all caught up. Watched it on a Saturday morning. I was like, all right, okay. But you left me with a motherfucking cliffhanger.
Yeah, that was
so mad at you. I'm so mad at you.
You knew that was coming.
No, I know. I mean,
but anyone's like, I would like to talk about the series as a whole.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because
of
it's
course,
10 episodes.
Yep, 10.
I feel they did a lot in 10 episodes.
They did.
They
Very
really
much so.
packed a lot of story in. Maybe some of it went a little too fast, like the whole Madeline Pryor turning evil storyline. That could have been.
It could have been drawn out more, but
2 or 3 episodes, I think, instead of just 1.
I think they needed that to happen for the payoff of Nathan or I'm blanking on his Cable's. I think the payoff with Cable at the end, it helped that already happened and stuff. So
what about Storm getting her powers back, like losing and getting her powers back within a few episodes?
Yeah.
Well, I think that it was rushed, but it had to be also because of the loss that the X-Men and the mutants just had. So I was like, I understand they got to get this powerhouse back in.
Yeah, take her off the board for a while, bring her back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, the choices they made, it made sense. But obviously, for a kid's show, those things are going to happen quicker than we'd expect to it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the one thing I do love about the original series, they really took they did multiple episode arcs for for Dark Phoenix. They did 3 or 4 episodes for different storylines. They definitely were like, oh, we're gonna dedicate 3 or 4 episodes to this. And I feel like with a 10 episode run, they really didn't get to explore the world as much as they wanted to.
True.
I definitely think they didn't. You can tell they didn't know they were gonna get a second season.
No,
they didn't know because it wasn't announced till after the first few episodes. And so they were like, we're just gonna cram in what we can and every idea that we think we're gonna do, and if we don't have a second season, fine.
Yeah.
I loved. I mean, I listened to the showrunner came on. He was talking about the first episode. We saw Cyclops use his power blast to slow him down on the descent. And he said that was a thing his mom reminded he used to do with his toys as a kid. So he had a Cyclops action figure as a child, and he was doing the fall and using the power to. And he was,
that's cool.
His mom reminded him. He's like, I gotta put that in the show.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
He's a geek, and I really I don't know how much he was involved in season 2 now. obviously he was fired. So
there was something recently that he was gonna talk to or speak publicly that I think he had something to do with it somewhat now.
Oh, great.
Season 2. I don't know how much, but
right.
I don't know the details of it, so it could be very minimal. But or maybe he has an outline that they can use.
It certainly won't be the same without him. It'll suffer.
Yeah,
but I think they did enough setup in this first season that they could go multiple routes with. It's just hopefully they keep the same tone and not urgency, but like the threat of people, going is still there. It's still around.
What did you guys think of the big bad reveal of Bastion and the Sentinels and all that?
Yeah, I mean it was good. It was kind of something I figured was going to happen at some point, but when it did happen, I wasn't like, I wasn't shocked or anything, but I was still excited to see how it would play out.
Yeah,
you know,
he's such a classic '90s villain.
Yeah,
so. I thought it was going to be more sinister. But it ended up Sinister being more the lackey.
Yeah, big. Yeah. Also, like at the very end, how he kind of got his comeuppance Sinister. He was just kind of turned into this like old.
Yeah, she pulls all the mutant DNA out.
Yeah, oh, that's so good, dude.
I thought for some reason because it's always been linked with Nathan and also Bastion's future self as Nimrod.
Yeah,
I felt that there was going to be an apocalypse reveal.
That's what I thought too. Yeah,
like he was going to show up and they had to fight him at the end for some reason.
We did get a tease.
No, yes, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. But I was just like, because even in the openings of the later episodes, you saw Cable's.
You saw a lot of Apocalypse. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, so Apocalypse is probably going to come into this last episode, and maybe he and Bastion fight each other. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because I know the original story, Bastion. I mean, Mr. Sinister's trying to create the perfect mutant to kill Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And that's Nathan Lane. So
Nathan Lane?
Isn't that his... Oh, wait, sorry. My bad. Not Nathan Lane.
The actor?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see in X-Men 97.
Yeah. But Nathan
I voiced
Summers.
Timon!
What, doesn't he have a different last name since he's from the future? Like, it's not...
I thought it was Summers, but...
Probably it is. I don't know. But
no, I think it's Summers. Yeah.
Please submit fan art as Nathan Lane as Nathan Summers.
Yeah,
I want that.
Hey, Pumbaa.
Yeah.
Where? Mom, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
Yeah, Nathan Summers is his name. Yeah.
Nathan. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was going to be revealed. And the if you noticed from the end of the part 2 of the trip, the 3-part finale, and the beginning of part 2, Bastion has this transformation that I was like, what?
Yeah,
this didn't take
more robotic look.
And I was like, when did this happen in between the episodes? So I thought that was a little weird at first.
I liked him ripping off Cable's arm and using the future tech to improve himself.
I was like, that was cool. Yeah. But I was like, he already added these mechanical improvements. It's like that. It didn't quite grab me until he did that with the arm. I was like, okay, this is cooler. But he also looked like, because I saw the picture before I started that last episode, and it shows him as that advanced, like with the wings, and I was like, oh, is that that's why I thought it was Apocalypse, because I was like, is that Archangel?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no, it's just him as with wings. I was like, okay, that's cool. And because when Rogue met him in space to fight him, I was like, can she breathe in space?
That's what I thought too. I think because she took Captain Marvel's power.
But then
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But then
that's what I thought. That's because she was
Nightcrawler helps her. So he doesn't have a mask.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Where they end up on the moon.
Yeah.
Where you see the statues and stuff. That's actually it's called the blue side of the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In Marvel Universe is like there's like a pocket of air in that area because that's where the Inhumans live.
Oh, you're right.
I do remember that part, but they were like in space before they hit the moon. So I was like, I guess but Nightcrawler does show up in that pocket. So I was like, okay, I kind of get that. But I was like, is it because she took Captain Marvel's power that she can breathe? That's what I was thinking. That's the only. I was like, how the fuck is she out here?
She's holding her breath for a long time.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
But no,
cartoon logic.
Yeah.
And the whole dream sequence with Charles and Magneto was really cool.
Very Inception.
Yeah, I was just about to say
like
that.
in
with
Limbo.
the water was
The water everywhere. Yeah.
So I was like, dun, 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 and the last episode was really good.
Now, there is a lot of people that were upset that they kind of nerfed Wolverine for the last episode. He's kind of benched. He's just he's
passed out
after the adamantium's pulled out. He doesn't make a recovery. He's just out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they could have brought him back. I mean, now he doesn't. He still has his claws. He just has adamantium on him.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of good he could have done. So
I mean, his bones are still strong.
No, they're still on break. Well,
he can still stabby.
Yeah.
But yeah, against the Sentinel, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just I don't know. So I kind of understood why they had to bench him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I was shocked that they did the adamantium pull because that's straight from the comics in the 90s.
That panel, he's in the same position. Everything.
When that happens in the comics, is it a quick heal, like back to?
He's out for a while.
He's out. Yeah.
So
he's out
then that makes sense.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And then he comes back like feral. Like,
that's right.
What I'm curious about because it's been a while since I watched the last episode. When they all get transported in time back to different, does he fall in the Egypt time or where's Wolverine?
We see him.
Is he in the future?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him.
They ended up in the two places, Egypt and the future.
Right.
So I was
I don't think we see him.
I don't remember seeing him either.
If he did end up in Egypt somewhere randomly, I could see that Pharaoh thing coming into play. If he just ages through, he has to age all through that time because they can't find him again or something for some reason. I know that probably won't happen, but I was like, oh, that'd be interesting.
Now we had a lot of other Marvel character cameos.
Oh yes,
including the '90s version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, with Mary Jane.
With Peter and MJ.
So
together.
he found her. He brought her back.
Yeah,
we had Daredevil show
Daredevil's
up.
in
Daredevil.
there.
We had Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
I like it was all like the
New York
based ones. Yeah, and then
was it there Fantastic Four? Did we see them? I forget.
I
thought I saw.
I thought I saw one too. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It was Morph turned into Mr. Fantastic.
That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And then he also turned into the Hulk.
He did,
which I loved. And
that was great. Yeah.
I love that he doesn't have the power of the Hulk, but he has the mass. And then Jean, you see Jean like put a little bubble around him as the Hulk as he's like smashing.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah, for some reason I thought some of the people he transformed to do he did get their abilities, but you're right. He doesn't have all their stuff.
Yeah. But we got a lot of cameos. I mean, like I think a lot of people are expecting them to do the Avengers versus X-Men storyline in future seasons because they we got Captain America in there, we got the Hulk, we got Iron Man was there.
Iron Man was in there. Yeah,
because I was like, who's in the room with the president? It was Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah,
and so they were. So I could see them because I'm wondering if the events of like Civil War has taken place in that universe? Probably not, but would they kind of do their own Civil War in that sense with the mutants to be here you need to sign your name to blah blah blah
possibly there's been a lot of damage done
so
well we could also probably get Onslaught as well because we had Charles and Magneto in the mind melding so
yeah true.
And I mean the Magneto protocols with the missiles going into the asteroid. So I was just like,
someone watched Armageddon.
Yeah, but also I was just like, if it did hit, that wasn't the mutants' fault. Then that was that
was the government.
The government. So I mean, like I know they would have used the news to be like, oh no, that Magneto dropped the planet on whatever. So I was like, all right, fucking Kelly. President Kelly.
That son of a bitch.
We got Magneto in the classic look again.
Yes. I was happy to see him back in the red.
Not the disco giant M look.
Yeah. But I thought he was going to go white or black maybe because of his, personality change. It's like, never again.
Yeah.
And then you just go full dark. Mm-hmm. And also they put Rogue in her classic, like old green.
Yeah, the old
yes,
green. Yeah,
that's right.
I swore Mystique was going to make an appearance, though.
I love she's wearing Gambit's jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So that was one thing I was like...
And she puts it on Charles's chair. It's like, sorry, pudding. Not pudding, sugar. Sugar. That's two different characters.
It's a great show. I'm excited to see what they do for the next season, and I mean, I'm so glad. It's like I've said before, man. There's no reason this show should be this good, man. Oh my God,
it's
just,
probably
it's
the
amazing.
best Marvel's put out
it's
in
a
a long
masterpiece.
time.
Yes, very long time.
Now, since they've introduced other Marvel characters, they could do other Marvel shows, spin-offs of that. So they could do Hulk, they could do their own Avengers. So like, I wouldn't mind it. So like, if they just did an animated universe of their show,
the
like,
90s
if they just stuck with this, and like, I'd be like, I'm happy.
That'd be cool.
You don't need any more live action movies. Just focus on these.
Yeah, you certainly don't.
Like, it would be perfect. So
yeah.
But I doubt they'll commit to doing every character's like stuff or something like that. So yeah.
And guys, there's a new Beetlejuice trailer that just dropped too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't say his name 3 times.
The juice is loose.
Chad, you had some issues about this movie?
Yes.
Concerns?
So, watching the trailer, I noticed that Beetlejuice seemed to be good. Like, it seemed like he was helping Lydia get her daughter back. Like, she's trapped in the Netherrealm or something. Yeah. So it seemed like he's not going to be the main antagonist here, which I've read. Because I've read that Monica Bellucci's going to be the main antagonist.
It seems that way. The trailer set it up like that.
She looks great.
No, she does. And then they show also a clip of Willem Dafoe too.
Yeah.
But the thing is also, if other people say Beetlejuice, shouldn't he just appear? Like, if it was like, where's Beetlejuice? Just say his name 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't they just do that?
That could. Well, isn't there some type of connection to
I think
the
whoever
house?
calls him in has to say it again. Right?
No, but in the original movie, because I haven't seen the original, I got to watch it before.
Right.
But there's some type of connection that they have to the house, or somebody gives.
They
them
can't
something?
leave the house, because then you end up with sandworms.
Yeah, but who gave he's
them,
allowed to.
Who gave them like Beetlejuice's card or something? I don't remember.
No, it was in the original movie. He does a TV promo. He's like that. I'll eat anything you want to eat.
Right.
But he was like, hey, these guys look like... Oh, he's looking at a newspaper.
That's
and
what it is. He reaches out to them.
He's like, those look like chumps. Yeah. And so that's when I'm like... So anyone could summon them, really.
Yeah.
And anyone could send them back. Yeah. They just have to say... So I just don't know how they'll get over that kind of hole of just like, oh, okay, you can just say... Because it seems like they might go the cartoon route and you don't have to...
That's basically what I saw in the trailer. Is like it looks like there's not a lot in the real world. It's a lot in the nether realm. And if that's the case, like if you say his name 3 times down there, he's not going anywhere because he's already there, right?
Yeah.
There was like a screenshot I took of it was like saying what the story synopsis of the movie would be. I'm seeing if I could find it. But yeah, so I was just worried that that we might not get his full, and you can tell he's much older now. So like even the laugh was
the energy's not quite there.
Yeah, so I was like, I understand if he's not going to be, but he was barely in Beetlejuice anyway, so he doesn't need to be in the whole thing. But here it is. This was the Beetlejuice synopsis that I found like way back. And it was like, after an unexpected family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family return to the small Connecticut town of Winter River. Paranormal empath Lydia Dietz begins to see the lecherous demon Beetlejuice, who haunted her as a teenager. His plans to finally marry Lydia are given extra urgency when his dead wife, Monica Bellucci, comes to life and begins to stalk the afterlife hunting for him. Meanwhile, Lydia's teenage daughter embarks on a romance with a local teen. So... Which is interesting because from the trailer, it seems like she's pulled in the Netherrealm. So maybe her teenager friend dies. I don't know.
And then she goes after him.
Goes, her way of like, I don't care anymore, and that's
true.
Why she throws away and just Beetlejuice. She says.
Because we do see a funeral at the beginning, but we don't really know whose it is.
Well, it seems like it's the dad, the granddad.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems like while she's in this town, maybe she meets a boy at the whatever school or in town, and then from there.
Yeah, it's interesting because you don't have like the Maitland, you don't have the Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis.
I hope they explain it away, like they moved on or something.
Yeah, but so because those were basically your protagonists of the first one. So now that those characters are gone, I mean, like, is it going to be more Beetlejuice heavy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because like I think I forget the guy. I think he's playing her husband or fiance.
Right, Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, Thoreau. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think but he also seems like an Otho type of guy.
A little bit, yeah.
When he's like,
little fashionista thing on.
So I'm kind of curious how that will play, and if he's trying to marry her still, how that works exactly or something. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm pumped for it, but I'm also not getting my hopes up that it's going to be an amazing movie.
Yeah, I could see that. I understand that.
Still better synopsis than what was it? Beetlejuice Takes Hawaii was the original sequel idea.
Well,
really?
Yeah, back in the early '90s, or like
that sounds like such a '90s plan. Takes whatever.
Yeah,
Hawaii, and it's always Hawaii.
Yeah,
it takes New York.
Exactly.
They could have done a bunch of Beetlejuice haunts different places.
I mean, it's shocking that for Beetlejuice, we've gotten the original movie and we got the kids show, and that's it.
Yeah.
A musical doesn't really count, but it's not within that world. But I mean, that's it. That's all we've gotten. We've gotten two things basically.
I love someone posted on Twitter where it was like Michael Keaton's like, okay, you want me to see me as Batman again? Yeah. Okay, got it. You want me to see me as Beetlejuice again? You got it. And next up was Mr. Mom 2 coming out.
Yeah, right. Well, I sent that to the group chat. Yeah, somebody commented that on the trailer.
I love it.
It's awesome. Yeah. So I'm excited for it. I don't know what kind of role Jenna Ortega is going to play in it. I kind of wish it was just. I understand when they brought her in, but I hope that they don't
concentrate. Trying to get those kids.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they don't concentrate too much on her. I want to see more concentration on Beetlejuice and Lydia. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I want to see. I want to see Winona Ryder because she's a legacy character. So,
yeah.
And so that's. I hope that's what they do. Beetlejuice. Oh, we should probably talk about Abigail. Which did you watch it, right?
I didn't see it.
You didn't watch it? You watched it, right?
Nope.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, shit. I thought you guys watched this.
No.
Okay.
No, I meant to make it, but I still didn't get to go yet.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's so Abby, really short. It's a vampire movie, and it's as you see in the trailer pretty much gives away the entire movie. This crew is hired to kidnap this girl. And it turns out that she's a vampire, and she begins to hunt them little by little. It's set up. They do this every so often with how it turns out that the people who were hired to capture her are actually people who work for this larger criminal organization that is run by her father, who is also a vampire, and she's like the main enforcer for this criminal organization. So the people who were hired to kidnap her, at some point they crossed the mafia family. For some they either ratted out, they were informants for the cops, or they stole from the organization, or they did something that that they crossed the organization. So they are hired by the same mafia boss to kidnap his daughter, but really it's just an excuse to get them all in one house so she can take them out. And of course she's a vampire. She can't. It's very difficult to kill her. And there's a bond formed between her and Melissa Barrera's character, who is she's a mom herself, and they kind of team up at the end to fight one of the kidnappers who gets turned into a vampire. His the guy who plays he played Gus Fring.
Esposito.
Esposito, yeah. They put up
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah. He plays the kind of like one of the lieutenants of the mafia boss,
like the handler. Or something.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the one who organizes all these people to come to the house? We're trying to kidnap this girl. He's actually just setting him up for a trap. But he's also plotting against the mafia boss, so he turns one of the cops, which he's not supposed to do. The cop kills him. This corrupt cop who is part of this crew that kidnapped the girl, and eventually the cop turns on Melissa Barrera's character and Abigail, who's played by Alicia Weir, the young girl, and they have to kind of fight him off. So finally they win. It gets kind of crazy towards the end because there's this huge the They can't get out of the house because the house is set up as like a trap. Once they get in there, they think that they're waiting for words for the ransom money to be paid for Abigail. And they realize whose daughter it is. They're like, oh shit, they've heard of this guy, the mafia boss. Like, oh shit, we should just kidnap his daughter. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And when they try to leave, all the windows and doors are barred off. They just come down like this automatic trap just comes down and traps them in the house. Can't get out. And little by little, they're kind of picked off by Abigail. There was, again, kind of a plot hole in one of the movies, in one of the scenes. They can't get out of this house. Daylight comes up. They know it's daylight because they can see it through some of the windows that are so high up they can't get to them. And they think they have Abigail. They're able to knock her out. The only way they can knock her out is by hitting her with like these very strong barbiturates that they have like in their medical kit. That's how they were able to initially knock her out. They inject her with these barbiturates. She's out.
Right.
They throw her. She kills a bunch of them. They're able to knock her out again. They throw her in a cage, and they think they have her trapped. But she's actually just kind of mimicking them. And that's when you find out who these people are. She starts naming them one by one. You did this. You did that. You crossed my father. You crossed our organization. And every so often, that's why we bring you here, so I can take you out. And there's been other hints and rumors of how this mafia boss is able to take out his enemies, how he's able to do it. Somehow he's got informants. The FBI has informants in this hotel room that they mention. And somehow somebody was able to sneak in there and wipe them all out. It's her been doing this entire time. So she easily like breaks out of the cage. She was just kind of toying with them. And they knock like a hole in. They're in this basement. They're kind of able to knock a hole in the wall, and like daylight streams in, and then she kind of steps back. So the only thing that can kill her is daylight because she's a vampire. Then they just kind of run off, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. There's a hole that's
a
daylight's
way to get
pouring
out,
in from there. Okay, okay, you got to get out of the basement. Okay, I kind of see that. But then there's another part in the movie as they're trying to find this control room that will open. One of the crew is a computer hacker. She's like, we can get down there. I can figure out a way how to spring the doors and the windows. And we can get out of here. So they're looking for this room, and they go into like this green room area, and the green room is kind of boarded off, but it's not. It's like there's windows, and there's boards across the window, but there's still a lot of daylight pouring in, sunlight pouring in. So I'm like, but they don't acknowledge that at all. And I'm like, well, even if there's like metal on there,
right?
I don't think it doesn't look like it's metal. It looks like they're wooden boards. Like there's an escape route right there. Like take the boards off the window and fuck the control room. Just go through there and or just hang out in this room. Who knows? It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but so that was kind of a plot hole in the movie. Aside from that, it gets kind of goofy in the end. Melissa Barrera's character, there's this final fight scene in the study, this huge library, and she's just getting tossed around, man. Like he just the cop who's his name is Dan. It's played by Dan Stevens.
Oh yeah,
who's in Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
He's like tossing her. He's like throwing her from the first floor to the second floor. I mean, through bookshelves, and I don't know. I was like, this girl's spine would probably have snapped by now. And she kind of keeps getting up and fighting back as best as she can, and he's fighting Abigail. And anyway, at the end, they finally get the upper hand. And they kill him, and we finally see the mafia boss. His name is Christoph Lazard. He's played by Matthew Good. If you guys remember who that is. Yeah. So he shows up, and he's like the mafia boss. And it's and then that's kind of the end of the movie is him and Abigail kind of bond because Abigail's like, oh, I'm so lonely and you've never been a real father to me, and they kind of just let Melissa Barrera go and she's out, and that's kind of the end of the movie.
Okay,
it's a fun kind of action, romantic comedy, dark comedy. It is what it is, and if you're expecting a life-changing movie, that's not what this is. It's just for fun.
But you had fun with it.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And Alicia Weir, who plays Abigail, the little girl, does a great job with it. Mm-hmm. She does perform ballet for them, and she is like covered in like blood because she's killed so many people, and she's doing these ballet moves. And it's kind of creepy the way they do it. Right. So, but yeah, I recommend it. It's a fun movie. It's just like you were saying, Chad, just be prepared to kind of suspension of disbelief because it's just like it gets so goofy towards.
Would
the
you
end.
say if you like Ready or Not, you'll like this movie?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's from the same people.
Yeah, I believe it is.
So, and Ready or Not was a little more believable than this.
Yeah,
in terms of what the human body can withstand. But it was still a fun movie, and I recommend it. It's a fun horror comedy in a way, dark comedy, I should say. So yeah. And then, speaking of movies, you wanted to talk about the trailer, the Long Legs trailer.
Oh yeah. The new. I don't know if it would count as a horror movie. I guess it does, but
100% it's a horror movie. Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily say Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie. It's more of a thriller.
Yeah.
But this does seem like a horror film with Nicolas Cage playing a serial killer and stuff. And a new trailer came out and gave us a little more context of what's going on. That these killings are happening, and he leaves I guess the one word written out, long leg. So I don't know what he technically does to the people or what.
They're being very vague in this.
Yeah, which I like. So it's sort of will be like a mystery too to it. And I think we get a quick glimpse of Nicolas Cage, but you don't see his face. His hands are kind of covering. But
does he play the serial killer?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I've been excited about it because you heard his voice here and there throughout the trailer going, being so I hear he's very bonkers in this movie. So
I'm getting full Cage.
Well, full insanity serial killer Cage, where it's just but it seems like he's covered in powder or he's very pale. So I'm eager to see what the whole look will be.
Yeah,
I couldn't get. I didn't know if it was a horror movie or it's more of a thriller, a serial.
Because
it had supernatural elements to it. It seemed.
It seems they're leaning in that, but I'm not sure if that's the case. There might be though too, because you never know with these types of movies. It can be, but it also seems it could be a religious sect cult type of thing too.
That'd be interesting if it was. I hope it's more of that than a supernatural element.
I think it's more or less he has this obsession of something, and it compels him to do it. And then the female, I think she's FBI, and she gets pulled into the case and stuff like that.
Yeah. It seems like a Silence of the Lambs type movie.
So,
which I hope it's a serial killer thriller of this cop chasing this killer instead of what I thought when I first saw the trailer, which is a supernatural element.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
you can kind of Black Phone was a good example
of
where you could mix those two genres and do it well.
Yeah.
So maybe they can pull it off, but
true.
Yeah.
So
which I would love a sequel to Black Phone.
I think it's, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the producers who did Mandy and all that and stuff. And I love Mandy. Yeah. That was a great one. So
it's one of the best.
So I'm hoping. Oh man,
I gotta watch
so good.
It's ridiculous.
So good.
I love it.
But yeah, I'm hoping the best for it. I'm definitely gonna see it in theaters when that comes.
Well, Nicolas Cage. Say what you will. He puts it all out there.
Yeah,
he
takes chances.
He does take chances.
That is true.
You got to respect that. That's the thing.
That is true. And then we had that Superman reveal, the picture.
Oh yes, for the new costume
for the gun, Superman.
I mean, I think people exaggerated their opinions on it with it was just a still shot they took, and they probably added the green screen of the Brainiac or whatever ship in the background.
The photographer came out and said no, everything was in camera. There was no green screen. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I think it was just they weren't filming, and it's let me just put on my. But it was not a great picture to pick.
No, definitely not. I don't know what they went with that.
There's a piece of artwork from I think it's Frank Quigley did of Superman relaxed in a chair, looking tired, and I feel like they wanted to go with that kind of vibe of or I think it's based on a picture of a fireman putting up his boots, getting ready to go into a fire.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But that's the problem with this suit because it's so big and thick.
Yeah,
you can see wrinkles, you can see stuff like that. So I think it makes it look cheap.
Yeah,
I really want to see the suit in motion.
Yeah,
that's when I'll really, when a teaser or whatever comes out, or like obviously they usually release stuff like this because they're going to be doing some filming on the street with it or something like that, and it's like they want to get ahead of the behind the scenes photos.
Some people snapping pictures of it off the street.
So I mean I'm curious. I've seen the pictures of David Full Sweat. What is the guy's name?
I'm blanking on who plays Superman.
Yeah, the new guy.
Shoot. Yeah, I'm not totally sure.
Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's it. Yeah.
Like I've seen pictures of him like after the post gym, like he's all like he's all jacked like crazy.
Yeah. He's all sweaty.
And he's 6'6". He's a big dude.
Yeah, big dude.
Superman's a tall.
So that's why everyone was like, oh, Cavill looks better and stuff. It's like this guy's a few inches taller than Cavill.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. I mean, yet again, it's like I'm excited to see what Gunn does with it. So
yeah. No, I'm not like that. Picture didn't give me positive or negative. It just like okay.
There's a few
suit
design elements that I'm not a fan of a high neckline on Superman. It's got that new 52 neckline on there.
I don't know. Maybe I don't really. As long as he's got the red spandex,
the red trunks are back.
I'm not. It doesn't bother me. I think, and like the whole. I forget. Does he have a belt usually?
Usually,
he does.
belt,
He does.
Yeah.
Did he have one in the picture? I don't remember.
I don't.
You know what? The positioning you can't really see what's going on there.
So as I never mind the neckline is not a big deal for me as long as that doesn't affect his movement.
I mean, I'm looking at the picture now. It looks like he has a belt, but it's a very tiny.
Yeah. Well, it was always like a tiny thing.
Yeah.
So you can only see a piece of it, so it may not even be a belt. Who knows?
I mean, he doesn't need it obviously because it seems like it's a onesie anyway.
Right.
So, but yeah, mainly it's the cape, the symbol, the red trunks, and the boots. The collar line is a small thing for me.
That's
and I get it. I get it. But I think that's the last thing that would, and maybe it's not like that the whole time. We don't know
if this is just like he has multiple costumes.
Yeah.
We don't know. They have said that the cape work in the movie is all practical cape,
really,
versus like how Cavill
CG,
had a CG cape for most of it. So yeah, I'm excited.
Wow.
To see
Okay.
Cool.
Going more practical.
Yeah. I now the thing is, as it gets further, would you want more revealing pictures of or would you want to go in more surprised for? Because like I know so many cast members have been casted and we know who they're playing.
Yeah.
It's just like I want to be surprised too.
Yeah.
Like
true.
I think it's really hard to be surprised nowadays. So,
well, I mean,
it'd be nice to be surprised.
It's for some reason sometimes I'm able to just avoid it because like I'm not on Twitter or I'm not looking for the stuff, or I'll just keep scrolling and then just keep. So, but I mean, I understand it's going to be everywhere. So,
yeah.
But like, I want to be shocked when I see Brainiac if we see if he is in it,
or Guy Gardner,
or Guy Gardner. I mean, I have in my head how that'll be, but like it might be completely different.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is good to see it earlier on, so I won't be upset. It's like, oh, that's not what I envisioned. But then you have time to get used to it before it's on the film. So I get the pros and cons of it. It's just,
I'll be buying all the action figures.
I bet you will.
Give them to me now.
Beverly Hills Cop 4 is in the works. Chad, you're excited for that?
Yes. I'm a big Beverly Hills Cop fan, and
even 3.
Yeah,
That's
even
that's a strange one.
Like I understand it's not as good as
Ahmed Foley.
It's hey, you don't talk bad about Serge, okay? Serge is great, and he's got to be in every one of them to make it. If he wasn't in 3, I think then I wouldn't like it.
That weapon has a microwave on it.
Yeah, and that's
I was like,
that's handy.
Okay.
Sometimes I get hungry after blowing away some punks, dude. It's like, you know what? I want this hot pocket. Ready to go, and then it plays music too. It's like a boombox as well. Like,
oh yeah, it does. I forgot about that. Oh, God,
terrible.
Shoots a net as well.
Yeah, that's right. Jeez.
I would love that gun. it'll be amazing.
I don't know why that never became an action figure with Axel and the giant
super gun,
super gun.
And then Dave, the head of the theme park.
Oh yeah.
But no, I'm
the Wally Shuffle.
Yeah, exactly. But it comes out July 3rd.
Yeah.
So the weekend of July 4th. So hey, kind of perfect. Although in the new trailer though, you see a little bit more of Eddie's performance in it.
Yeah.
And part of it just seemed he's a little less serious and more comedy. Mm-hmm. And so I am a little bit worried that they might lean into more of the comedic Eddie Murphy than the serious.
Because the first one, I mean, yes, it's funny, but it is done like for real action movie. Yeah.
And the same with the second one as well. Like it's serious, but there's comedy bits to it and stuff like that. So I just don't want.
But we got Paul Reiser back. We got Judd Nelson. Judge Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold. Yeah. And we got the original, the bald guy. I forget his name.
I forgot his name too.
Taggart.
Yeah. So the band's all back together.
The band's all back together.
Because usually, like with these movies, it'd be like, oh, we gotta get Axel to train a new crop of Beverly Hills cops.
Or something like that.
Yeah. And I'm glad they're like, no, we're gonna lean into the nostalgia.
Yeah, because like it seems like Judge Reinhold's character Billy gets in trouble, and so that's why Axel's back out there to help, and he tries to recruit Taggart back. He's like, "Come on, Billy's in trouble," and you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the new kind of cop on the force.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's got his look seems just like so out of place.
Like he's doing Serpico.
Well, but he's also like
the beard going.
He looks very 80s, weirdly enough, and I'm like. I hope they explain that a little bit more because it just looks weird that he's that. Yeah.
He's doing his young Pacino phase.
Yeah. And I really hope they keep the music a part of because I hope they brought back Harold Faltermeyer to do the music because his was I don't know if he did the third one though, but his music is so good. And I know they'd have to like update it a bit more so it's less 80s and more current. But I think he'd be able to do it because didn't he do Maverick? I think he did Maverick, or he might have helped with the Mavericks.
Well, I mean, I hope all 3 of the original ones are on Netflix now, so we could binge them before 4 comes out.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Yeah,
I think I have the first one on Blu-ray.
A marathon.
Yeah, that'd be great. 3 is we can skip that one.
Then you get Alice DeWall, Alice DeWall.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's got memorable lines. Like even I just say a line, you remember it.
I do. No,
Axel, don't make me laugh. And they,
I remember that part. He's in the furry costume.
Yeah,
and the kid kicks him.
Yeah. Hey man. And then the counterfeit money in the under. I was like,
is that what they were doing in that movie?
They were doing counterfeit money.
That's right.
Printing off the dollar bills that they would do for the park.
But it's Universal Studios and
Disney mixed together
and Six Flags.
Yeah.
All together. And like they filmed all 3 or something. I don't know, it's weird. Yeah.
But he's like, hey, that guy shot Dave.
Yeah.
And I was like, so many great moments. It's like, Axel, I can't believe, And they bring Billy back, and he has his moment, his shootout with one of the guards.
Right.
And then, obviously they replaced Taggart at the time because he didn't. I forget why he wasn't back for it, but the other guy, I forget his name. I think he passed away though. The replacement for he was and it wasn't he wasn't playing Taggart, he was playing a different character, but he was like I don't know Axel, he's got I forget his name, but he's been in so many things. But I'm fully.
We're all.
Hopefully, we get another banana in the tailpipe.
There you go. I don't even remember the plot of Beverly Hills Cop 2. I don't even remember it anymore.
It's the ABC.
Oh yeah, that's
robbers.
Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah, and the guy from Das Boot, and they're robbing all these places, but it's to for insurance fraud, and also they were dealing weapons or something like that. There was a mixture of the both. I don't
remember it that well.
And what's his name? The chief of police got shot.
Yeah, because he caught.
Because he figured it out.
Yeah. That I remember.
That's why.
That I remember.
And that's how Axel had to come back.
Yeah, that I do remember.
It's like, hey, how you doing, man?
And Paul Reiser had to drive his Ferrari.
Yeah, and pretend to be him out there and stuff like that.
Do you? Is it good? I don't even remember.
No, yeah, it's great.
I remember that
good.
part, but
it's good.
I love the sequel. Yeah,
right, I'm gonna check it out again. Yeah, man. And there's probably, speaking of trailers, there's a new House of the Dragons trailer that just dropped. I'm really excited about that. I don't know if you guys are fans of that show.
Nah.
No, it's really good, man. You should get into it.
I like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care about the
world.
Not even the world. I'm the Targaryen internal conflict.
Yeah.
I just like, okay, so this bunch of white-haired people don't like this bunch of white-haired people.
I get it. Care. Like, so there, I understand that, but there is it because I was apprehensive about this too, because I was like, how are they gonna fuck this up?
Yeah,
it's gonna be boring. And then I actually watched it. And it's the characters that play within the series actually pull you in. The actors are really good. I think it's well done, dude.
Okay.
And there is like drama. The thing about the show is that every episode jumps a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one episode you'll see, to the next episode it's like 6-7 years have passed.
Oh wow.
So you're like, oh shit, what's going on? And so like they kind of cram a lot into this season, and there's a tension building up within the family that, even though it moves pretty quickly, still makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So it's good,
Right.
What's his name? Matt
Smith.
Matt Smith does a really good job on it. And the performances with him and Patty, the guy who plays the king, they play brothers. And his performance is Patty Constantine, who plays king one of the Targaryen kings. It's really it's their relationship is really well done, and it's even tragic to how much they're brothers, and they were closer when they were younger, but because of power dynamics and Matt Smith's character being passed over, they kind of become enemies.
I have to get Max again.
I'm telling you, man, it's good.
Well, there's the bundle now with Disney, and they get it all at once. But I tried watching some of the first season, and Matt Smith is a great actor and everything like that, and the King, and like there were some good performances. It's just I didn't care about the characters. Like there was no character I could get behind. Like
I feel like they needed to give it more of a break between Game of Thrones to this.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really chomping on the bit for another series so close.
Yeah. Well, the way that they handled the last season really turned a lot of fans on. Yeah, unfortunately,
bittered it a little bit.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
very much so. But yeah, it's doing really well right now. I mean, it's the ratio to the likes and dislikes is very. I mean, it's up there. People are liking it.
Yeah.
And then, what they did a really sneaky thing, which is that they dropped their trailer at the same time that Amazon dropped the new Rings of Power trailer on the same day. And the Rings of Power trailer
Fantasy Face Off.
Yeah, dude, and it's getting ratio to fuck, dude. The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power trailer is not doing very well right now amongst the fans.
That was a series that Amazon
and every single not only is it getting the like to dislike ratio is completely off,
right?
But also every single comment on the Rings of Power is negative, dude. You go on there, it's just everybody just clowning the shit out of it. You go to the HBO House of the Dragon, the likes are up. You completely opposite, and most of the comments are like, "Oh man, this is awesome! Can't wait! First season was good. This is gonna be awesome." Yeah, it's just of course some people were pointing out like,
and Amazon spent a shitload
dude,
for the rights,
and of course people were pointing out like, "Man, that was real sneaky for them to drop it and say that. That's real sneaky." Yeah, so
now
some low key hate. That's some
pretty much
Drake Lamar fucking shit going on.
And it says a lot about that show, Rings of Power, that we don't talk about it at all.
Yep,
true. So. But what do you guys think about? I think it's Warner Brothers, right? That is doing the new Lord of the Rings film, The Search for Gollum.
Search for Gollum. I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know if it's the same kind of writers. I think Andy
he's directing.
Yeah, he's directing, so I have some faith in that because
and
he knows the character
Peter
really
Jackson's producing.
Exactly. So,
but the thing is, like, the Hobbit trilogy wasn't great.
Exactly.
They tried to expand one book into 3.
Yeah,
this is a small paragraph.
Yeah, it's not even that. Yeah, and it's literally a paragraph going like, it's not that interesting anyway to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't think Viggo would come back for it. Do you think he would? He seems like an art house actor now.
I mean, I think if he was because he's so in touch with the original trilogy. He got the Elvish tattoo.
That's true, yeah. That's true.
He's very proud of his role in that. So it's what made him, and and it was a great role. So I think, and he's still pretty close to Peter Jackson. So and Andy. So I think if they asked him to come back, he probably would.
But also, like Ian McKellen, after The Hobbit, he was just like, everything's all green screen now. I don't think he would want to.
I just recently saw another. It's really sad because he's acting with the dwarves supposedly, but he's actually just in a green screen room.
Yeah,
and you see him get frustrated.
Sad.
Yeah, he just like locks up. He's like, oh, again, he starts because he's not used to performing with it. Nobody.
Yeah. Well, Peter Jackson didn't want to do it that way anyway, but they didn't have enough time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know if they do it right this time where there's people there for them. I don't know, but we'll see if they have time to do it because I don't know if WB will be racing against Amazon's Ring of Power.
Probably.
So
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing with the rights, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they can make stuff based on the Lord of the Rings movies, but they can't touch the characters that are in Ring of Power.
Yeah.
But it's weird because the Rings of Power took the Balrog design from Peter Jackson.
Right.
That's Peter Jackson's design.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the book, it's completely different visual.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the
line? Yeah.
What's the line there? I don't know.
So yeah, I'm I'll definitely be checking out House of the
Rings
Dragon.
Of Power, right?
Yeah. For it.
Yeah, you're gonna be watching every single episode.
We'll do episode breakdown every week.
That's what we'll be talking rings.
Sure.
Like Talking Dead, talking rings.
I got it.
No, yeah,
I got it.
You got it.
I got it. Yeah.
Rings of Talkie.
And then Stan will be hosting. He'll be the Chris Hardwick.
I'll just open every show like like that.
Yep.
So what were you thinking? What were you thinking when?
We'll see what happens with that show.
Yeah.
Also, are you guys gonna watch The Acolyte at all? That drops in June.
Oh yeah,
I will. I mean, it's Star Wars. I'll probably watch it. I'm not invested because yet again, it's when is this set? This is set like
100 years before.
Old Republic, right?
Yeah.
So.
Wait, 100 years before Anakin.
So wait, it's before Old Republic or after Old Republic?
It's during the Old Republic. It's 100 years before Anakin, basically. When he was born. Yeah.
Because then, all right.
This is like the first encounters with the Sith, right? That's where we're.
No.
Well, then that would be.
They've been going back. That goes back much further than that.
Well, that's what I thought it was supposed to be. The Acolyte was like the beginning of the Sith or something like that.
No.
Because then that would be definitely before
you know
the
what?
Old Republic.
Ever since Disney took over, then probably
because in the trailer,
because in the original lore, they go back thousands of years before that.
Yeah.
But in the trailer,
it was like a Sith
Jedi.
They
see
war.
a red lightsaber, and the Padawans are like, "What the hell is that?" Like they have no idea what it is. So.
And from the trailer, I mean, I forget what movie I was in the theater for, and they showed a clip of the Acolyte of the girl fighting. The actress
Carrie-Anne Moss?
Yeah, Trinity.
Yeah.
I just call it Trinity. And it just because they weren't using lightsabers, and it was almost like a kung fu slash.
There is no spoon.
Matrix because since they were doing kung fu in this like weird wooden building diner place,
it was like
I was like,
pagoda,
all right, so is this just gonna be Matrix?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure it's getting that comparison only because of Trinity. Carrie-Anne Moss, sorry, I keep saying. But I think though
Mr. Skywalker.
But the fact that like Jedi and all them never really fought like that.
The one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not throwing hands.
No.
Oh, there's a lot of things that have never been seen before.
But hey,
in
the Old Republic, some of the cinematics and stuff, there is that martial arts.
They might be want to somehow show the Jedi has changed since those days.
They became more peaceful or something. Because there's the war with the Sith. Very peaceful, very huge battle.
Yeah, I'll get around to watching it, maybe.
Yep.
But probably not. You watch it and you let us know.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch the first few episodes and be like,
yeah, let us know.
And then we'll have to test. Like, would you rather watch Rings of Power or Acolyte?
Oh, jeez.
Oof.
It's Sophie's choice.
Do you want to take us out, Chad?
Sure, I will do that. Well, thank you once again, everybody. I really want to sit you down and just tell you thank you.
Sounds like you put him to bed.
If you just lay back, pull up your blanket,
and relax,
close your eyes. I mean, what are you making that face for?
I don't know where this conversation.
Hey, going. I said pull up your blanket. I didn't say undress. Jeez, get your head out of the gutter, buddy. Send you to the Acolyte.
I don't know. You're doing some weird finger moves.
Hey, I was just tapping the table, tapping the wood.
Oh, shit.
But thank you for listening to another episode, guys. You know the routine. Like, subscribe if you're not already doing so. Please comment and something. Please comment and also share with your friends and family.
And rate and review. We need if you go 2 seconds and put a few stars for us on it actually does help with the algorithms.
And next week we will have another guest on.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah. Is it going to be a surprise? Are we going to leave it as a surprise?
I think we should.
Okay.
Right. Sounds good. And
yes, as we always say here, enter the Nerdom, exit the plethora of films and TV that we love so much that is going to be coming out and that we're thoroughly enjoying and that we're not thoroughly enjoying. And why are you shaking your head? What's wrong?
This would be really hard to fit down a t-shirt.
Okay, soups. I'm good. I'm glad for soup. Exit the soups that we love. You love
exit the soups.
The soup because butternut squash. You're
minestrone. If you know, you know.
And
broccoli cheddar.
Broccoli cheddar. That's kind of basic. That's a basic soup. I'm just saying that's basic.
That's a basic B.
It's it's a basic B soup. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.